Gents, thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
And then
Love doing it.
And then this guy, since we were like 3, he still thinks I stole his Roberto Clemente rookie
He
card.
did. He stole my Roberto Clemente rookie card. I know it was him, man.
I did not. I always talk.
It's probably in some storage unit.
Right.
He's holding on another 5 years.
Not held on by from me.
He smacked me with a saxophone one time. The box. He smacked me. I'm telling you, he did.
I did whip your
He
ass with
knocked
a saxophone case when we were kids,
Yeah.
that's for sure. And Adam actually is one of the very first guests on this podcast. We didn't know each other. We got referred by
That was
Chris.
Yes.
Cimarron.
Yes, it was him. Mixed up with
Bunch of people.
oh man, what the heck is his name? I can't think of it off the top of my head. DJ. I
Oh,
can't remember his name.
yeah. Afterthought.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yep,
Hayes.
Ryan.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, Ryan's a good dude, and between him and Chris, they sort of pushed us together and did all this.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I was.
Well-
First off, he was physically intimidating. Like he'd jump across the table and kill me. UFC fighter, man. What's he doing in Coriopolis, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Abby and I go way, 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 way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of water under the bridge and a lot of bridges overflowing.
Yeah. There's that was what, 90? No, that was 2005.
Yeah, 5, I think. Yeah.
It was right before.
All hell broke loose for you.
Well, it already did, but label wise, it broke loose right after that.
Yeah.
But Leonard Skinner was in the studio right after that happened.
Yep.
Because we had just did a show with them with Ronnie and Donnie down in at the Dukes of Hazzard Festival in Georgia.
That's right.
And
That's right.
because they were talking about us when they came back up here,
correct,
and they remembered we were from Pittsburgh.
Correct.
And they were kind enough to. They knew we wanted to watch a Steeler game, so they put the Steeler game on and pushed the TV out the window, and they came out and watched it with us. So it was pretty badass.
See, Steeler Nation's everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Those guys, I'll tell you what, when you imagine, an entity of Leonard Skinner being that big, you wouldn't imagine those guys being so down to earth.
Yeah.
And they were just good, especially Johnny. He was great. Lead singer.
And to further the story from me, that day that they came in to go on Froggy, that's when they were talking about you guys on there. They walked down into my place, and I'm like, okay. So we just started giving them swag. They were getting on a plane because that night was the VMAs, the CMAs in Vegas, and they had to leave.
ACMs,
and they had to leave and fly out there so they could film like 6 hours.
We were already out there. We went out the night before.
Got it.
And I remember seeing him with a Boogie Street shirt on in Vegas.
Yeah, like he had a flannel on it, but underneath that was this brown Boogie Street shirt. And my wife at the time is like, "Hey, I don't have my contacts in." Like we're laying in bed watching this thing, and pretty sure I think that's your logo. I'm like, wait, who? Like, and then my phone started blowing up. Like, that's just once in a while some weird shit happens.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, it was a cool moment.
Cool,
it was a cool moment. Jen's hunting and fishing, something I know absolutely nothing about, which is why I'm the perfect host of this particular podcast. But before we get into that, you two gentlemen have known each other and have done a lot of fishing together. Am I right? Hunting? How much hunting have we done together?
Not much.
I'm not talking about females over the years. I'm just talking about fish.
He's not hunting anything.
I'm not hunting anything.
I'm saying over the years. I'm not saying current.
He's tagged on.
No, actually, how I met him was his wife contacted me.
Yeah.
And contacted me about talking to him about singing.
Okay.
That's how him and I met.
Okay.
So
singing.
I responded and said, yeah, I'll talk to him.
Okay.
Then we ended up talking. We had all this stuff in common, hunting and fishing. And
it was like 10 minutes of talking about, I do this stuff with songwriters and everything, come out and stuff like that. And he said, I just got done fishing or something. And all of a sudden it just turned into 10 minutes of music and like an hour and a half of talking about fishing,
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah, man, it's normal.
So he's the one who got me into kayak fishing.
Okay, so again, I watched a podcast that you two and Tyler did with me a while back, and I still don't understand exactly what that is. So can you give a rough definition of kayak fishing beyond the obvious? Beyond the, it's like you're in a kayak and you're fishing,
but it's not. But it's not. See, when he told me, "Well, you need to start kayak fishing," I was like, "No."
Yeah.
My definition of a kayak is about as wide as this table right here. And
you're like in Alaska, and you're doing a touring kayak, or you're going down a whitewater river and stuff,
and you're down deep in it.
Yeah, like
and don't they like turn over? Like you see them guys, then they just they go under and they
yep.
That's a thing, right?
That's
I mean, I've done that.
I've seen it too.
He has it on tape.
Yeah,
accidentally or for like intentionally?
No, it was
definitely for sure, because that was miserable
and it was cold.
But kayak fishing it's just think of mini bass boats. You ever see like the Bassmaster boats out there? They've got freaking 250 horsepower Mercury on the back, and they're going 65 miles per hour down the lake. Yeah, it's
Babe Winkleman stuff.
Yeah, right.
We don't do that.
We're like, like just a little bit of that, and we just try to make these kayaks that you can literally stand in, you can fish in, you can walk from either end, and it's not going to flip on you. Even between me and Abby, like we're big guys. We're out of the native watercraft Titans, and they're like the most stable boat in the industry. But at the same time, it's still considered a kayak, but we're able to do all this stuff in there. We could put whatever we want, motors. We use electric motors, torpedoes.
What's a torpedo?
Torpedo is a.
So I'm on the pro team for Torpedo. It's a 3 horsepower motor on the back. It's electric though. It's ran off a battery.
So you're putting a motor on a kayak.
Yep. And you control it with your feet. Yep. So you control the steering with your feet.
A lot. It's similar to, you see the bass boat guys. They're up at the front of the boat and they have like a Minn Kota trolling motor
with a foot pedal.
Yeah, and you have a foot pedal there. You can now that's more advanced versus what we have. We literally just have an electric trolling motor basically in the back with these cordage, I guess, that go up into these foot pedals that we could just sit in our seats and just push. And basically those cords just kind of, do that to the motor, and we can
steer a rudder.
Yep. It's basically it's a rudder steering motor. So and do
you fit in these kayaks, or are you like sitting on the top of them?
Oh, sit on the top.
You guys should have to row. You should have to goddamn row.
I've done.
You want a kayak? Look, you already put the kayak and turned it into something else.
I had to actually go down the river last year in Harrisburg and get him. He was trying to row back up against the current.
It was miserable.
His motor,
my shear pin broke on my
propeller
prop. And so when it does that, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't push any water. So
he's like, "Hey, can you come get me?"
I'm downriver.
Do you lose the prop?
What's that?
Does the prop come off with the shear?
It does, but
it didn't.
It broke on the inside and just spins.
So it spins very quick.
Anyways, I'm like the boats that we're in now. Granted, they're super stable, super like you can put whatever the heck you want.
They're 41 inches wide.
Yeah, but the more you put on there, obviously the heavier these things get.
So that's not really that wide.
It's like a John boat with a point on it.
It's wider, I think.
Yep.
It's like a John boat.
Yeah.
I love John boats.
But so like you could get in these things, and the funny thing about it is like, okay, great, you can put everything you want on it, you can make it as and when you do that and you want to put all these little bells and whistles on it, it definitely weighs it down. And in the Susquehanna River, it's just generally like one way. It's like, north to south. You either float down, and I floated past my launch because I had a motor that was working at the time, and then I broke it down a little bit further, and I'm sitting here. You could go to my YouTube and check this thing. It was
basically
miserable.
Going and going.
I'm paddling like this, going as hard as I can. I mean, I'm just like doing this, and then I'm just going nowhere. It just stuck. Just like I'm still floating. I'm just paddling enough to get that boat to stay in the current, and I knew I was never going to make it back up. And this was mid-October. I think the
chilly, right?
The temperature is probably around 55 degrees. Water temperature maybe about the same, which is miserable. You don't want to walking that all the way up with a really good boat.
Or flipping it.
So you were
or flipping it. That was a year and a half, or a year ago.
Was that in the lower end? Was that in the lower end of the Susquehanna? Or
no, that was
Branch?
Port Trevorton.
Yeah, that was up near.
We were at Port Trevorton.
Yeah, that was Port Trevorton. That was.
How far north is that? I've seen it up by Law Cave.
Sealands Grove.
Up by Law Cave, and I've seen it. Well, it's a west branch of the Susquehanna. So
down from the west branch.
Downtown. Okay.
Yeah, maybe about 10 miles.
Nice.
South.
Okay.
But it was tough. But anyways, I'm sitting here and I'm paddling, trying to get like any way to get back up, and there's nothing. And it's just like, oh God, I got to call Abby here. He's got to come down and help me out. And
of course, I'm not gonna let it go. Like I'm filming them.
Yeah. So I call Abby. I'm like, Abby, I'm trying to put the phone on speaker and trying to paddle, and I was like,
what the hell are you doing?
You got to come down and get me. Where are you? I'm below the launch. And so he comes down, and like he said, he's not letting it go. He's going, got to pick up Adam. Meanwhile, it's like every other situation with Abby. It's like, my truck's broke down or something. My battery doesn't work. But he comes down and he eventually tows me back. He's got this nice 1103 Torpedo, and it's just a more higher powered electric motor, and he's able to just pull me right up. But
so. What companies are you? I know it's Z-Man. I get that. What companies are you two sponsored by?
Together, Fishing Online.
And separately.
Fishing Online, together.
Okay.
And Native
Watercraft.
Native Watercraft, which is the kayak company.
That makes them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They're out of
it's
Fletcher, North Carolina.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Nashville.
we actually got to be on the design team of the new one. There were 6 of us.
Did you tell them to make it a little wider?
41 inches is pretty wide, bro.
So they made this for a tournament angler. So there was things, very specific things that we wanted changed on the boat.
Okay.
To suit a tournament angler, to make it easier for us.
Like what?
How we measure our fish. You got to measure them on a what's called a catch board. It's a metal board. And putting that board, those fish just flop everywhere. They never stay on the board. So you got to measure it, then release them. You take a picture of it, submit it to an app. So they put a notch where you can put your board now that keeps the board from moving.
Okay.
And it'll help keep the fish inside the boat if they jump on.
It helps.
Yeah. A big thing with these is whenever you get these kayaks, though, you want all the bells and whistles, that requires you to wire up your boat and everything like that. You got to put lights on. If you have a motor in Pennsylvania, well, generally anywhere in the country, you got to have navigation lights on it.
Wait. Back up. I mean, I'm a layman here. You're telling me that the kayak has lights.
Oh yeah,
Navigation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
required.
That's required if you have a motor kayak. That's required if you're in low light conditions as well.
Okay, so there's no covert
and
fishing
registration.
And registration. And you got these things. It's basically, like I said,
launch permits.
It's a mini bass boat. Yeah, you got to go to the notary. You got to get registered for your kayak. But in order to get these things up to that point, you got to wire up your kayaks, which require you to take a $3,000 or $4,000 kayak you just purchased and then start drilling holes in these things. And it's just like it makes you sick to do that. And so both me and him we're on the same page. We need a kayak that's going to be where you have the ability to wire this thing up where you're not drilling directly into the hull.
Plug and play.
Yeah,
have
right.
jacks.
Yeah,
kind of like pre-wired.
Yeah, pre-wired.
And so we made some things that some suggestions, and they took our suggestions. One was raising the floor so the water could drain out of the scupper holes. On that particular kayak, that was level with the water.
The scupper hole?
Yeah.
The plug.
You don't deal with those? No,
I'm not sure a scupper hole.
I knew her from high school. Scupper hole.
I think we all.
Wait, we went to the same high school. I don't remember scupper.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I mean, there was him and I were the most active on that change because probably out of everybody, we were the the two most active tournament guys on there.
Yeah, I still
And,
think we are, but
Yeah.
The sport, did it evolve? Like, when did
Oh,
the
yeah.
kayak? Is this something like hobbyists
So
were
I-
doing or something? And all of a sudden, it got
So
mainstream.
this is how. So I was fishing the boat side of things, tournaments in Ohio and New York, and he goes, "Hey, you need to come over here now, before this blows up, and get involved now, make a name for yourself over here now." And I mean, he couldn't have been more right about that, because the first year, I think I placed like a couple top tens or something like that. I didn't. I was still feeling my way out with the kayak. It's a big change. Fishing is different out of it. And what would have been last year, would have been my second year.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to fish the national scene, just out of this clear blue sky.
Okay, I'm not surprised.
And I ended up doing well. I took fifth at Susquehanna. He took sixth right behind me. This is on the pro event side.
Yeah.
And
that was out of 198 anglers.
yeah.
Yeah, 198 anglers.
And I was sitting at second going into day two, and my fish were there. All the big fish weren't there. I was literally fishing a foot of water. I was sight fishing them, and how I was catching them. But I ended up taking fifth. He took sixth. And then I did well at another national event. Oh, Wisconsin! I went to Wisconsin. So the tournament director called me. He's like, "Hey, you have a chance to make the tournament of champions." I'm like, "Well, how?" And so I had another top 20. Yeah. From Winnipesaukee. I had a 35th finish. And he said, "Are you coming to Wisconsin?" I said, "Well, I wasn't planning on it." He goes, "Well, if you come to Wisconsin and get a top 15, you'll make the tournament of champions, which is the ending tournament of the year. It's a 3-day tournament, and you're fishing for 35, 40 grand. So it's the top 50 anglers of the year." So I was actually on the phone with him that tournament on the last day.
Okay.
So of course, nothing else. Why wouldn't it go wrong on the last day for me?
No.
The first day, I'm sitting in 8th place, I think. Okay. Was doing well. My spot held true. I found a spot 2 hours. So we when we go to pre-fish for a tournament, we look at Google Earth. We know what to look for, like pinch points and the way fish set up, that we know fish set up. And so I marked a bunch of stuff, and the very first spot I checked, I caught 2 big fish off of like within 15 minutes. I said, "Okay, if I don't find anything better, this is going to be my spot where I start on Saturday." And that was on Tuesday. So on Saturday, I started there. I just sat there. I never moved. I sat there the whole day and just power pole down and just anchored down and never moved. So I was sitting in 8th. Then day 2, hold true, get over there, caught my limit within 20 minutes. My bigger fish from the day before didn't start happening until 9 o'clock. 5 after 9, I started catching my bigger fish. So now I'm on my second call of big fish, and this guy comes over to me in a boat, and he goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know that you're going to have to move out of this area, because we're doing a ski jumping tournament, water ski tournament."
Oh,
I was like, "God damn it."
Whoa, really?
how? That's crazy.
Abby luck. This shit happens to me all the time.
Did you argue? Did you argue at all?
No, I had to, or I got ran over.
Okay. All right. We're having it.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
I couldn't have sat there if I wanted to. So I said, "Well, it says there that it's not supposed to happen until 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. He goes, "Oh, no, they changed it for this weekend." I said, "Of course they did." So I literally had to go upriver and find other stuff. And I picked through and found some fish. I'm sitting in 19th place, and it was like 2:30. And I'm looking downriver, and I could see where the ramp was, the ski jump. And there's nobody around it. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're done. So I make my way down there. It's like 20 till 2. Lines out at 2 o'clock. And it was lines out 2:30. It was 2 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. It was lines out 3. It was 2:30 when I went down there. And I go back to my spot.
Okay.
Right away, I catch 2 fish. Called one. Now I'm sitting in 19th place. So they turned the leaderboard off right after I caught that fish.
Okay.
Okay. So now I have no idea, I know that I need to catch a big fish. So we have a thing on, he's talking about you can add the electronics. Well, I have 2 screens on my boat. One's for maps and sonar and one's for live scope. Live scope is the additive. It's like a, $2,000 additive, $3,000 additive.
Yeah.
That you can turn this arm like this and literally watch fish in real time.
It's a camera.
It's a camera. It's
Yeah,
an underwater
basically.
camera.
Yeah, underwater camera.
But you're not seeing
Picture of the fish.
You're seeing electronic.
yeah.
Like
You know,
is it sonar?
It's sonar.
Yeah.
But I
It's
can
live
tell
sonar.
what a bass looks like and what another bass, something else looks like.
Yeah.
So there's this big ball of bait, probably like 8 foot wide, and I can see 5 fish underneath it. So I'm working my way through it. I caught every little fish around it. And there was 2 big ones there. I could really big fish. And I'm talking to him and I'm like, damn it. I said, I need to catch these fish. And I caught every little one. The little ones didn't help me. I needed a really big fish. So I tried everything. He goes, well, have you tried jackhammer? I said, yeah, I have a jackhammer on now. So
What's that?
it's a chatterbait. It's called a chatterbait.
Oh, okay.
Z-Man makes it.
Okay.
And it's a a bladed jig. I hate calling it that. He knows I hate calling it that. But so that's what the pros call it, a bladed jig, when they're not allowed to say the name brand of the company. So it's a Z-Man product.
Yeah.
So I'm on the phone with him. I said, you know what? I want to try something different. I only have 8 minutes left. I'm going to go down below this ball bait and face upriver and come back up towards it.
Okay.
So now I'm facing in the current and I can see the ball bait on my live scope. The big fish are still there. Throw through it. I'm trying different retrieves. Fast, a little bit slower, faster.
Okay.
Nothing. I seen one come up after it the one time and then one back down. I was like, damn it. So there was 3 minutes left?
Yeah.
It was literally 3 minutes left of the tournament. With 2 minutes left, I threw my jackhammer up past the bait ball real far.
Okay.
Let it sink down almost the bottom. And I just crawled it. And I knew there was a stump down there and my bait stopped. I set the hook and it didn't move. I'm like, oh shit. I'm hung up. Then I said, oh my God, no, I got that big. I seen it go on the screen. I seen the fish go on the screen. Then my line started taking off.
Got it.
So.
But you can't tell actually how big it is from that camera.
Well, I knew it was big because I told him, I said, it's a giant. I said, I knew, and there's people watching me. There's a bunch, you can hear them cheering, And I got the fish in. It was a 4.5 pound smallmouth and it was 19.5 inches. And that put me in the top 11.
Got it.
And that got me into the Tournament of Champions. And that also put me
in the last minute.
I literally, I only had a minute and a half to submit it.
Yep. Nice.
I submitted it in the last minute.
So wait. When you say, what do you mean by submitting it? By the time you get it on your boat.
I gotta measure it, take a picture of it, submit it to the app.
Okay.
So the picture had to be taken by 3 minutes and 59 seconds. I took it literally at 3 minutes.
Got it.
Wow.
And so long as the picture was stamped before 3:59, yeah, it was validated. So submitted it. Still don't know where I sat. They paid a top 10. I missed it by one. I missed the check by one spot, but that got me bumped up to. So I came in 21st out of all the anglers of the whole year. That bumped me up enough to get into the Tournament of Champions.
Got it.
So that was in Louisiana and Texas. That in last November.
And you drive down there with all this gear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We have trailers for our kayaks and.
Damn, it's some serious fishing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how I made Tournament Champions last year. Kind of made a little bit of name for myself and, buzzing around.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Definitely helped me with sponsors.
I would imagine.
And then going into this year, I put a lot of pressure on myself last year, and I don't know how many times he yelled at me about winning. I'm so competitive, and he knows this. But this year I come in with a whole fresh start, saying, okay, I'm gonna be in the top 25% of every tournament. That puts me in the first 25 anglers of each tournament.
Got it.
And first tournament was in February in Florida. I cut a check in that one. I come in 20th. Second tournament was Louisiana, Texas. I come in 53rd out of 205 or something like that.
You catching monsters down there?
Large
monsters.
But the problem is everybody's catching them.
It's what, like 10, 11, 12?
No.
Oh,
I mean, I lost an 8 or 9 pounder.
you gotta come fishing my lake.
Yeah.
Washington County, baby.
Yeah.
Right by.
I believe it.
Oh, yeah. My biggest is a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We've had 10 and 11s come out of there.
Damn.
You need a kayak, man.
There's kayaks out there, but
You need
the
kayak.
women use them. I use a John boat.
Yeah. Oh, you can't beat a John boat.
So, yeah.
But
I
at
mean,
what point is it not a kayak? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
What's the requirements for it to remain a kayak, or is it just
It's made of
open-ended?
plastic. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Is there? They don't have a set
That's a good
requirement.
question. I don't really think there is anything.
Okay.
I mean,
You
as
would
long,
know.
as long as you
Yeah.
can, if you can paddle it like this, like
Well,
an
that
actual
series
kayak,
is pedal
I think
driven.
Maybe. So
it's man powered. It's either paddle or pedal.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
All right.
And then we went to South Carolina after that. Yeah, South Carolina.
Did you win the tournament? What did you win in the tournament the first year? You qualified in Wisconsin, and you
I
went to
didn't win.
Louisiana?
I didn't win anything.
But did you place? What did you end up?
I ended up like 41st or something like
Okay.
that. Well, I didn't do well.
But it was
in
an exposure. You made it.
So
yeah.
yeah, it was good exposure. This year I cut 4 checks, I think,
Nice.
on the national scene. I took 3rd in the one tournament, which was an automatic submission to the Tournament of Champions.
Got it.
The top 3 at each tournament get automatic submission. So that tournament there, everybody was telling me not to go do what I went and did. I found on Thursday night in practice, my buddy John Klein and I found a big school smallmouth on Kentucky Lake and caught a ridiculous amount of them. But day one, it got real rough. They were there. I could see them on live scope. I just couldn't get them to eat. And I just held enough to stay in 35th place on day one. And then going into day 2, I was sitting at 35th. And day 2, it was calm, and I got out there and they were there.
Okay.
And they ate. And I got the biggest limit that day by 5 or 6 inches.
Okay.
And I was in second until the last half hour. And the kid bumped me back to 3rd. And but to be sitting at 35th, that's why you never give up.
Right.
Because
Right.
you just never know what's going to
Of course
happen.
not.
But there's people who go home that are in 40th. You just never know what's going to happen. Just because someone caught them on day 1 doesn't mean they're always going to catch them on day 2.
I was in 90th and I went home.
90.
Yeah, I saved a vacation day doing it. So that was the whole. I was like, yeah, I'll just pick up the pieces, eat my humble pie, and go home.
90th.
Kentucky Lake sucks.
And there's some guys here, like John Klein, they do better around here. I do better on
the road.
On the road.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I just don't know.
Do you do it recreationally?
Oh yeah, I mean I go out all the time.
You go up Lake Arthur? Do you go out on Lake
Nah,
Arthur for small?
there has to
Sea
be-
stripers and shit?
Nah, I heard there's no fish in there.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there's fish in there.
I don't waste my time if there's. That's another problem.
Well,
I'm sure.
Conneaut's got fish in
I'm
it.
sure. Yeah, I do know Connie has some big fish in it.
Yeah.
But you know as well as I do, like from being on the road, like being these places have big fish, like even the Susquehanna, you get spoiled.
Yeah.
Catching these big fish, so you want to go to where you could possibly catch a big fish.
Right.
And we do have some lakes around home that have big fish in them.
Yeah.
They're just a little harder to catch.
Yeah. See, I have these things at home called children And,
I somewhat remember that.
Yeah, they're awesome, but they do take a lot of time. So it's like these tournaments are sort of my both recreational and like competitive sort of way of getting out and going fishing. I don't think there's been one time other than maybe at the start of the year where I went out and fished for fun. Everything else has just been strictly competitive or pre-fishing for that competition.
Right.
So it's a good excuse. It's like, hey, babe, sorry to leave you with these guys. I know there's two kids now, but you know, hey, I gotta work. I have an opportunity to win and maybe get some money and some exposure and all this stuff. So I'm going out there to help the family.
Some of the phrases.
Right.
But perfect example was a month and a half ago we fished the national circuit one called the Native. Our kayak company sponsors it. It's called the Native Power Hour. So they paid $1,000 for the biggest fish of every hour for 8 hours.
Wow.
Plus, if you catch, and this is two different mentalities. I was fishing for big fish. He was fishing for.
I was fishing for big fish too.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about?
But I was throwing big baits. Like he was. You were catching fish consistently, where I was in an area where I knew there was big fish, but it wasn't many fish like where he was.
So you're throwing big crankbaits and big.
No, I was just throwing
shad wraps.
I was
Z-bands.
Yeah,
you were hitting it.
I was throwing. I basically threw a chatterbait all day. And
did you do rubber worm at all?
Yeah, I mean,
little wacky rig, get them in the middle, so they flop around, beat them up the
That's what
way.
I did last weekend, and I took second.
There you go.
Yeah.
See,
it works.
And this is from a rookie.
Yeah,
can't beat the wacky.
Yeah,
so.
Do that with a Snoopy rod.
But he took third. Did you take second or third? Now?
I took third in that one.
Third in that one.
Yeah,
and then I won the first hour of the big fish power hour, so I won $1,500.
Nice
on that one. And then you won 1,000 and what?
About 1,000. That was. Well, no, I won. 1,200, 1,300.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But
so you broke even on a year, huh?
No.
If I ever break even, I had a hell of a year. You know, if there's ever any chance that I get any money back, like it's just like it's just like it's an addiction, and it's a lot like gambling. And then you go, and it's just like, you know, you win a little bit here and there, and you just put it right back into the game.
Yeah,
you could be the next Bill Dance, man.
Yeah,
I'll be the next Bill Dance.
But this is where sponsorship comes in.
100%. Yeah, it's a business.
That's
a business.
That's the thing, and that's what I was telling him. You got to treat it like a business,
and it'll build
because he knows how my mentality is. Like
I know how your mentality is as sponsors. I get it.
You just got to
being a musician all those years will make it that way.
You have to treat it like that because this is the first year for me that it's profitable because I have sponsors paying for all my travel and everything. And this is the first year now I got my name all over my freaking truck. You know, God bless 84 Lumber.
That's broke down.
Nice.
That's broke down. No.
At least they broke down at a strip joint. It's broke down at a barbecue shack.
I'm advertising for 84 Lumber at Mission Barbecue.
It's better there than cheerleaders.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So, it just, you know, him and I both have sponsorship together with Fishing Online and with Native. And did you ever get on with Abu or no?
No. I'm well, I mean, I guess you can consider Native being part of with Boss Bass Rods and stuff.
Oh, that's right. We're on the Boss Bass Rods team too.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, equipment. We don't pay for any equipment, and
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish the guitar worked that way.
Yeah.
Just need a good sponsor.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I picked the wrong one, maybe.
Yeah. Your boys from Kiss didn't pay for none of that.
No, but I mean that's what it's a business, you know. Yeah. And there's a girl in our industry. She's making well over $150,000 a year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Now,
Is she wearing something really tight when she's fishing?
no, but she's actually a really good fisherman. She outfishes a lot of the guys.
I believe it.
Yeah.
That's a fisher person.
She's one. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Christ. Here we
Come
go.
on, man.
She's won a championship. Yeah. Yeah.
What's her
but-
pronouns?
Yeah, you got to get it right, man. It's a whole new world out
Yeah.
there, brother.
Yes, it is. But I definitely say that.
The thing I don't understand, though, which you gentlemen have not further explained it to me, was it some guy that just, for whatever reason, had a kayak one day and decided to take his fishing rod with him for whatever weird reason that would be?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like an established thing.
No, I
years
mean,
ago.
if you look at kayak fishing, it dates way back, way back to the indigenous, like the
Indian.
Yeah, the Eskimos.
Right. Yeah,
for the
I
most
mean,
part.
they fished out of kayaks. I mean, it's always been around. It just hasn't been placed on a competitive scale until obviously bass boats came into the mix.
Okay.
And then once bass boats were here, everybody wants to do that, but not everybody has $70,000-$80,000 for a bass boat. And somebody's like, you know what, I could fish out of this kayak and do the same thing. And then somebody's like, hey,
Actually, you could do more because you can get into more,
you
being
can-
more invasive.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a lot of there's advantages and disadvantages to anything you do between bass boats and kayak fishing. Bass boats, obviously, you can cover more water. You can go 65 miles per hour. You can travel pretty much anywhere. But kayaks in themselves, you can get into shallower water. You can get to you could drag these things into places that people have never been to. So you can get a lot of these little nooks and crannies that the regular bass boats can't get to. But then again, your spot's got to be spot on because you can't travel anywhere. It's like once you put your kayak
You're
in,
committed.
you've got maybe a 3-mile radius you can fish. And some of these waters, like what was it? Kentucky Lake was like over 100,000 acres
Yeah.
to fish, and so it's like just flip a coin, and maybe you get lucky, maybe you don't. But at least with bass boats, it's like, okay, if I don't get anything here, I can at least travel up 20 miles up the lake and go to a spot. So,
Did you ever get stuck in the mandrake?
the what?
The mandrake.
Mandrake. What the
You
hell
know,
is
like that brush that's on the side of the rivers and streams with all those.
Oh, yeah.
Mandrake,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's mandrake, right?
What the hell's a mandrake?
Look it
I'm
up.
not sure
goddamn
that
it.
is-
Look
It's
it
some
up.
kind of duck.
was it in that watch thing you sent us on?
That sounds like a duck. A mandrake.
Look it up. Mandrake.
Was it in that watch thing you sent us
Nah.
on? Group chat?
Maybe.
That's a
I thought maybe
50
trying to sell me a watch. Like a real expensive watch.
the real reason I brought you on the
mandrake was actually a
podcast.
drug in the 70s and 60s in England. That was like a drug. They called it a mandrake. But I think actually mandrakes are like the bush or the jagged bush sometimes that are
Yeah.
on the sides of rivers and so forth.
kind of
Okay.
overhang
So if you're
and
gonna,
stuff.
yeah. So if you're going in there to find a spot, I imagine you can get bound up in that.
Oh,
shit.
yeah. You
Yeah.
duck down under it and you slide through and you come out with a wolf spider on you.
Oh yeah, the one that's
That's
quite a
happened
few
to me,
times.
dude.
Abby had did you have a snake that got in your kayak at one
No.
point or got close enough?
I had 11-foot alligator go underneath my kayak
Yeah,
in 4 feet of water. Though.
That's it.
Wow.
That's fun.
That was pretty fun.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
So-
I'm filming it. It's actually on my Instagram. Okay. I'm actually watching this thing, and I was like, I'm filming it as my motor's going. I'm not paying attention.
Are your legs dangling in the water?
No.
Oh
God,
my
no.
God, no!
Yeah, they got swim fins
Yeah,
on.
like,
That's
yeah.
when the torpedo
Stand
thing.
above the main
Meat
section line,
popsicles.
that's the case.
Yeah. When the torpedo quits working, the
Yeah.
double spinner.
Yeah, so I'm filming this thing, and it's going in the water. I'm like, it's still going. I'm like, my God, that's a big alligator. Next thing you know, I seen the head go, because I never stopped moving. I'm in a canal a little bit wider than the room here, and I never stopped moving. And this thing goes under me, and then I see the head go over here, and the whole body. And it's the funny thing is showing up on my graph, 'cause
Yeah.
you can see it, and it was pretty tightening.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely
Yeah.
afraid of snakes.
Yeah, snakes is the other thing, man.
Are you
And-
scared of snakes?
Yeah.
I love
Down south?
I do too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
I used to collect them.
Down south, you're not connecting those snakes.
You can collect copperheads. You can get rattlers
Didn't you
here.
tell me some story about this crazy freaking? Was it a
Moccasin.
moccasin?
Yeah,
Water
water
moccasin down
Yeah.
there. Some kind of like
Yeah.
insanely long and thick water moccasin
I was in the FLW tournament
in Florida.
in Florida, in
Yeah.
Okeechobee.
Yeah, Okeechobee.
And that thing, was as big as my leg around and 12 foot.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And now my buddy saw one the day before that was the boa python, the rock python, whatever.
Yeah.
The ones that they're shooting
the
at
invasive ones, yeah. And he said that thing was as big as a basketball round, and his boat was 21 feet long, and it was probably like 4 feet shy. It was like 18 feet, something like that. It was crazy how big it was.
So wait a second. So make sure I understand this right. You're in a kayak, and you are you going through like the Everglades?
Listen, my kayak will never set foot on those Everglades. After what I've seen down there.
Do that?
Yeah, there's people do it, but you're an idiot. I'm just go ahead and say it publicly. You're an idiot if
People
you
do that though.
Yeah.
I've seen what lives in that water. I will never ever take. If they have a tournament down there, I'll see you next tournament.
You got to be Cajun to do that. That's genetic shit.
Oh no, we did Louisiana. And I mean,
But
seen
the
some
Glades,
snakes
the
down
Glades
there.
are even worse.
But South Carolina was the worst. I was back in those.
Oh, you were up north, or I guess northern part of that lake. Yeah,
and I was in that.
You were in the cypress trees.
Cypress tree field,
Yeah.
where it's like the cypress trees are like you're just weaving in and out of them. And let me tell you something. I got videos of them.
It's spooky. And
They're this big around, and they're probably like 8-9 feet long, and they are aggressive. They would. Well, the one kid in Louisiana got bit. One climbed up in his kayak. He didn't know it. And they tell you to check your kayak all the time.
they'll kill you.
And before you reach for something under your seat, you're supposed to look. Well, he reached for something under his seat and got bit. Ran on the wrist. He was in the hospital for 4 days. And they're poison. They're
hell of a hobby
really
out there.
aggressive.
Oh yeah.
Hell of a hobby you
Yeah.
got there.
Well,
Well,
I didn't see a snake the whole time I was down until the last day. I casted, and I got hung up in a cypress tree, and I was heading over there to get it out, and I'm pulling on it. I'm like, what the hell is that on the side of the tree there? And then it moved its head. I was like, nope. Reach up and cut that son of a bitch. That thing was like 6 feet long, just laying on the side of the tree, all curled up on the side. I was like, no way.
All right, what was the most scared? And you're included in this one. I know what happened to you. Besides you falling out of a tree stand.
that was bad.
and almost
Well, I've done
killing
that too.
yourself.
I fell 28 feet.
I felt about 20.
Dear God.
Landed on my head.
I didn't do that,
I
but
put my left hand out.
Did you
The
bounce?
rest- I bounced off the tree behind me. No. Bumbles only bounced till they were about 2 years old, brother.
Jeez.
I was tightening the strap up, and I thought I adjusted the stand. I didn't like how I was sitting.
Yeah.
Of course, my harness, I left it on a quad. I said, I've done this 100
Good
times.
place for it, yeah.
Well, I forgot
Yeah.
to bring it. And I'm like, I ain't going back. I've done this 100 times. So the stand's set, and I just don't like, I wanted to pitch it a little more. So I took the ratchet off a little bit, and I spun it. When I did that, it come off the hook. It was just barely on the hook. So I gave it the old heave-ho to pull the strap tight, and it was tink,
Oh,
gone. I hit the tree behind me, and it threw it forward, and then I plowed into the ground, man.
So where did you land face first?
I landed face first with my left hand out. I broke my wrist. Then my forehead plowed, and the rest of me just like a big blob. Just fucking blobbed into the ground.
Do you remember being in the air? Do you remember anything?
I got out. Then I plowed into the ground. So I couldn't get past. I got to the effing fuck. And I was already fucked. So I'm laying there.
Jeez.
I'm laying there. And my buddies, and he was Mark Yoakum. I know you know Mark.
Yeah.
Well, he was an Army Ranger when he was in the Army. And he's freaking out. Oh, my God. All I can hear is him running around saying, oh, my God. And I'm trying to breathe. I'm already wiggling my toes. I'm like, okay, the toes work. But I can't breathe. There's no breath. There ain't an ounce of air in me. And I'm like, I know the breath will come back. Just relax. Don't panic. And I'm listening to him, and I'm starting to get irritated. And my breath gets back, and first thing out of my mouth is, shut up. Where is my hat? Okay. So, but I'm all bad. I'm bruised up. I had concussion and bruised ribs and a busted wrist is all I got. I could have been in a wheelchair my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, I got lucky. But I walked out to the quad. Then I couldn't drive it. I hurt too bad. So someone drove me out on my quad, threw me in his truck, and I got to Weirton Hospital. I went into shock and lobby. Just from the whole
How many days were you there?
At Presby? 3 days. They threw me in a helicopter because they didn't have a trauma center. They said, well, where do you want to go? We don't know how to deal with this. I said, well, give me. I said, I'm in Weirton, West Virginia. I'm like, send me to Pittsburgh. So they come with a helicopter. They put me in a burrito, got the neck brace on. They slide me in a helicopter. The nurse, they all get their helmets on. You can't see their faces and shit. But I got a nurse and shit. I got IVs in. And I'm like, can you give me something for the pain? She said, I'll give you something. And she hit me. It was morphine. She gave me morphine right away. And I said, thanks. And I said, and thank you for rescuing me from West Virginia. Meanwhile, they were out of West Virginia.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, she goes, let me back that off a little bit.
So I got lucky. It was 3 days in Presby, but I look like Spider-Man now when I go up and listen, there's lines everywhere.
Yeah.
Brother. Oh, yeah. I did that when I was 50. That was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
9 years. Wow.
I was probably in my my early 20s. Loggy Bayou. You know the stand.
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't know. He's too
Yeah, I know the loggies.
So I'm climbing it with a loggy.
I know guys still hunt with them.
Yeah. They're crazy.
Yeah.
And so I get up the top, and it rained the night before. And my buddy's down the bottom. I'm about 21 feet, and my rope's 25 feet, and I had about 3-4 feet left. And so I'm you know how you like hold on, and you try to position the stand so when
it bites.
So it bites.
When you're waiting.
And then I can put the ratchet strap for the seat around and pull the seat up.
Right.
Well, I step out on the edge of that to pull the seat up. You have to step back beyond the seat and then kick the seat up.
Yeah.
I step out on the edge, and that thing goes like a rocket.
Shot down a tree straight.
But I'm holding on.
Oh.
I grabbed the tree. I bled. Like my arms. And
you didn't break anything?
I didn't break anything.
Oh, Christ.
I mean, my arms bled forever.
Good Lord.
I just went straight down. But I'm holding on for dear life.
Did you have a ladder, or how does that
No,
work?
it was a climber.
But
It was a climber. Mine was a log one. I was setting a log
I didn't have the what do you call it then? The loggy assist climb.
Oh, yeah.
Apparatus.
Yeah.
You know, which was just as dangerous.
Yeah.
Now, I had where you had to hug the tree and pull your
Do you remember the Bakers?
Oh yeah, that was before the loggy. That's where
the Bakers were the ones. I know they were bad.
Well, the Bakers always collapsed on you.
Yeah. There was just a chunk of wood and some steel with a V on the backside. It was just find a pinch point.
Yeah.
As long as you had to wait on that pinch point, you were fine. If you moved,
but it was getting out to that where you could get your weight out onto the pinch point.
Yeah, it was bad.
So the idea is always elevates, you can see, right? You can see a swath of land, right?
Yes.
Are you able to shoot from up there?
Yeah, that's why you went up her.
Yeah.
I don't go up in reserve and come say, stay there. I'm going to come down. I'm going to kill you.
Hold on.
Get on the
Hold on a
ground.
second.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I wouldn't climb one of them fucking things.
Yeah, I've been in trees for Christ. I'll be in a couple weeks. I got my stands in on Labor Day. I put 2 stands in. I do lock-ons now. I'm only running 2 stands this year. I'm getting old and getting lazy.
I have one area that I can put a stand in a tree, and I have a lock on out there. I just change the straps every year.
Yeah.
But I mostly hunt out of a blind out of there.
Okay.
In Ohio.
On the ground.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of trees out there.
Okay.
Where I'm at.
Right.
And so it's up and close.
I can't do a blind. I'm claustrophobic. I feel like I'm like
that 107. Well, I use pretty big blinds, but that 170-inch deer
size of this office. That would have to be the size of this office for me.
That 170-inch deer I shot walked 5 yards from my blind.
Wow!
I couldn't even shoot it. I had to wait till when I circled me.
Yeah.
But
so explain something to me. Like, why is it? Well, first off, every residential area seems to be infiltrated with doe. Like, it's just fucking believable. So you see a lot of them, but you rarely see bucks.
They're there.
They're there.
Well,
they don't hang out with the doe.
Explain why they're not.
This is why you see the bucks in November, October, October.
We don't see them walking down my street, but I see tons of doe.
Well,
you will see them walking down your street. in another month.
In another month,
really?
In October, beginning of November, when they only get to have sex one time a year.
Yeah, they're in bachelor groups right now. They're in bachelor groups.
What bad arrangement is that?
Well,
it sucks.
Hey, it's kind of like where I'm at now, brother. I'm 59 years old.
You have a semi-annual erection, huh?
Yeah, no, that ain't the problem. It's her saying yes.
Once a month. Is it on a schedule, I'm guessing?
This is when the bucks get dumb. So if you're going to kill a big buck, that's the time to do it.
I'm a second week of November guy. I hunt the whole second week of November.
Really?
There's guys that swear by Halloween. I swear by the second week of November.
Yeah.
So
the 9th, 10th, 11th.
I got 9 days off, and I'll go hunt.
The 9th, 10th, 11th is the best days,
Yeah.
I feel.
I've killed on the 11th, the 12th. Yeah.
You hunt, right? But not often.
Oh, yeah.
You hunt. You hunt.
I'm
duck
getting more
hunter.
and more into it. I duck hunt. I've got a dog and stuff like that.
Right on.
But duck hunting in Pennsylvania is about
It's tough.
it's a duck desert.
Got to
That's the
draw a
best way.
blind to pie me, man.
Jeez. And shoot one goose, I think, is all you're allowed to shoot.
Okay,
But,
so again, novice question, right? So when you're out there shooting a buck, like, are you using a shotgun?
You can.
there's
a shotgun
seasons.
will spray,
You
right?
shoot. No, you don't
You
use
shoot
buckshot.
slugs.
You got to use a slug. It's
Yeah.
a single projectile.
So it's a single shot then.
Projectile. Yeah.
When you're shooting birds, are you using a shotgun? Or-
Yeah, but you're using a
Shot.
sort of a spray pattern shot. You're using
BBs.
if it's like
6
pheasants,
or
it's,
7,
you use
right.
lead, and it's a bunch of small pellets. For ducks, anything waterfowl wise, you have to use steel, because they tend to migrate more, and so if you shoot them with a lead like pellet, they could get lead poisoning and die, and obviously that's not good for conservation. So you use steel, but
Okay.
it's the same thing. It's steel or lead, and they're just mixed up in different patterns. You have I think it goes from anywhere from like 8-shot, which is like a real small, like you would use that for like shooting, you know what clay pigeons are,
Yeah.
Doves.
target practice, doves, small animals. And then it'll go all the way up to triple BB. Well, for waterfowl and stuff like that.
Pterodactyl.
You know, yeah. And then they're definitely a lot bigger. But yeah, so it's there's a lot of different things out there I mean, you can even get into like turkey hunting. When you get into turkey hunting, then you use, your normal turkey loads. Abby's actually a pretty well-versed turkey hunter.
3-inch mag, 3.5-inch mag.
Yeah.
I don't even hunt them anymore. I call. That's
Do
all
you?
I do is call for people now.
Yeah.
I've killed over, I think 62 longbeards I've killed.
Nice.
But I need one more for my Grand Slam, which is
The Rio.
Osceola. No,
Osceola.
I killed a Rio and a Miriam back-to-back days.
I have
Nice.
no idea what you're talking about.
Different, different subspecies,
strain
different
of
strains
turkeys.
around the country.
Yeah.
Turkeys. Okay.
Yeah.
So I hunted
Jive turkeys.
Nebraska, in the corner of Nebraska by Colorado, where there's a mix of Miriams and Rios.
So that gives you an opportunity to pull it off.
So
Two of
I
them.
pulled off one day and one the other day.
Wow.
I actually killed 2 Miriams. You're allowed to kill, I think, 4 birds or something like that. I killed 2 Miriams and a Rio.
Wow.
And
So the Osceola is a tough one. Ain't that like Arizona or something? Ain't that like a
no, it's Florida.
Oh, that's a southern bird. Okay.
But they're pretty tough.
Yeah.
I
It's
never
the
hunted them
snakes
yet.
that
You
keep
might
them
have
out of
to,
there.
you might
That's
have
what
to
it
go
is.
in the glades,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, he's got to deal with the
You
moccasins.
do have to wear snake boots. They tell you to wear snake boots.
I
though.
bet.
Yeah. And my luck, I would sit down, there'd be a snake.
You
right
bear,
there.
you bear hunter?
I'm not.
I just
I
took
bear
it up.
hunted once in Saskatchewan.
I've been out 3 times in PA. It's tough, man. It's more drinking than anything. But then you go out and you sit and you get lost in a mountain laurel. I was lost for hours in mountain laurel. Listen,
Oh, I believe.
laurel's way worse than them glades. Dude.
Yeah.
Listen, dude, it was like this.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna die. Double leg cramps. Lost.
Jeez.
So now I guide. I guide every youth season in Ohio for youth turkey hunters.
Nice.
Okay.
So I've been pretty good actually. The last 4 years I've been. They're allowed to kill. So I was 3 for 3. Then. So there's a group, and he became a really good friend of mine. He's from Buffalo. I called in his first turkey in Ohio for him. It was such a rare bird. It had albino wings,
Nice.
it had white wings. Beautiful. It was dark body, white wings, and then I killed his son was 9 years old. I called in his first long beard. He shot that. Then he came back down during deer season. I said, hey, bring Easton down. I got a deer he can shoot. He's been coming in pretty regularly, and he killed his first buck with me. And then he killed another long beard the next year. And then his brother just started hunting too, which he is let's see, Easton's 12 now, and the other one's 10.
That's very cool.
And he killed his first bird last year. They killed a double together, which they have no idea how hard that is to do, especially with 2 kids. We're in 2 separate blinds.
Wow.
So I'm calling the shots. This one's gonna kill whoever's killing first. I'm sitting with. So his brother was supposed to, since he's killed 2 longbeards, he was supposed to wait for a longbeard, but 4 Jakes come in, and so his Arlen killed his first turkey, which was a Jake.
Nice.
And the other 3 are beating the hell out of it, flopping on it, and I'll hear boom.
Kids are cool, man. Kids hunting are cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm the president of a hunt club out in Washington County.
Oh, nice.
We got like 400 acres, 100 members. Been
Yeah.
there since 36.
yeah.
But we have a lot of guys. They take the kids out.
Yeah.
And they do the call and get them
I enjoy now more so calling for. I mean, my son killed his first longbeard when he was 8 with a crossbow at 8 yards.
Nice.
And
So you still shoot with crossbow?
no, when I hunted turkey, I was all shotgun.
But do you still shoot the bow, or do you still hunt at all with the bow?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah, I'm actually going back to my. I went to a crossbow for a year and a half or 2 years because my shoulder was messed up.
Got it.
I was having trouble pulling my bow back, and because I won't go less than 70 pounds.
I
because
think it's
don't believe in it.
amazing. I think they're amazing. That's why I ain't giving it
Yeah.
up.
It is hard. It is hard to give up.
That's amazing.
But I'm going back to my regular bow.
Yeah.
What do you prefer,
What?
gun or bow?
I like bow hunting. I find it more challenging. You're closer. I think it's more challenging with a bow.
Yeah.
But
It's more up
I think
close
it's
and personal.
Like I used to hunt with a longbow. My closest kill was 6 yards on the ground with a longbow.
Like, what do you mean?
With an arrow,
A longbow
like
is
an Indian.
What an Indian.
Like an
shot.
Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hunted like an Indian for 10 years. I got 4 bucks and 6 toes.
You mean wait? You mean like a real?
Like a bow.
A string
a
and
wood
a piece of wood.
A straight piece of wood with a string.
Got it. So a
homemade arrow
compound bow
with
is
turkey
what it's a
feathers.
machine because you pull it back so far, then there's some kind of
It has a let
mechanism
off.
that you're right.
It's a let off. Now
Got
they
it.
can hold it.
Okay.
And they used to
Okay.
be 65. Now they're like 80 something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the longbow was the most fulfilling. I got the most out of.
It's more organic.
It's way organic, and you got to be way patient.
And a crossbow is kind of like a combination of a gun and a bow.
It's a rifle.
It's a
basically.
rifle, dude.
Yeah,
It
it's just-
flings an arrow.
It should
dude.
have its own
Oh,
season.
they call it a bolt.
Yeah.
But listen, it's all good.
The reason they
man.
call it
I
a
mean,
bolt because it
let's
goes off
not
like
be
a
bad.
thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can shoot almost up to shoot. I've
I
seen
know.
them go up to like 100 yards now.
Mine
They do.
Mine
I'm an inch low at 100.
Yeah. Jeez.
But I would never hunt like that. I hunted 20, 30
Oh yeah.
yards.
Until you see
Dude,
that
you're
10
talking
point,
to a
that
guy-
12 point out
no,
there, and you're like,
listen, I already done that. I'm beyond that.
know.
Listen, when you're younger and you start hunting,
yeah.
you want to kill everything. Listen, you're shooting over shit around trees. You know, then you get older and you got all these deer under your belt. You know, I probably got 30 bucks under my belt through the years. You know, and it's like
That's how
it
I
ain't
am with
about
turkeys.
killing.
Yeah.
It ain't
Well,
about
then-
killing anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that between that and then you're hunting in Pennsylvania too, so you got to figure out, okay, I kill this thing. Now I got to drag it out.
Now
So
what?
You should have seen me last year with my 10 point,
really, yeah,
80 yards straight. I could see the truck.
yeah,
Okay, I'm on a bench.
yeah. But the truck's up there.
And the truck's up there.
Yeah.
So I drag it on like a 45.
Yeah.
I almost died.
Oh,
Listen,
geez.
I had to lay it. Once I got to the truck, I had to lay on the ground for 45 minutes. It was
Yeah,
bad.
that's a thing. I've talked to guys who've seen nice bucks down in the valley right here, and they could take the shot, but they pull up and they say,
No, I got to get him out of there.
"Yeah, that's no
He
point."
better be
you know.
200. He better be 200 inches if he's done
That's
in
why you
that
have a
bottle.
4-wheeler or a side-by-side.
If you
Yeah.
can get it in there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make it in there.
Well, I just got permission. I got access down there now on my quad. So
nice.
if I get one and it goes down there, no problem.
that's the
All
way to
right.
go.
So, what are the mammals that you're allowed to hunt in Pennsylvania? Like fox?
Women. Yeah, you can hunt. Yeah, that'd be fur taker. You got fox, bobcat.
Well, they fall under the women.
coyote. If you're lucky.
Cougar, yeah.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky. But yeah, that's all the predators. Fox, bobcat.
Bobcat.
yeah,
So there's a
bobcat.
bobcat season.
Well, now you
Yeah.
have to have a permit.
I do. I get one every year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we
I've
got them
seen
on the club.
Tons of them.
They're around.
In Washington.
They're here. There's probably somewhere in the woods over here by the park.
What about a wolf?
No wolf.
Plenty of
Coyotes.
Yeah.
I ask. Coyotes everywhere.
What's the difference between a wolf and a coyote?
Coyote's wolf's a lot bigger,
A lot bigger.
Yeah.
Like a dog,
like twice the size,
like a big dog.
like 240 pounds.
like a twice as big.
I'll
as a
never
German
forget.
Shepherd.
So my first time in
That's it.
Saskatchewan, I had a bear deer combo tag, and it was ungodly. It should have been in the 40s up there.
Wait, you had a bear.
Deer combo, so I could kill a bear
either
and
or.
a deer. And so in the morning I would hunt deer, in the evening I'd hunt bear. So guide goes, "Hey, meet me out here at 4:00 in the morning." I was like, "All right." So first time I just got there the night before. Because we got about a 22-mile quad ride. I was like, "What?
22 miles on a quad.
22 miles?"
Yeah.
So
that messed your ass up.
we're going back through all this shit. He goes, "All right, the stand's right." He walks me up to the stand. I get up in. He goes, "Listen, do not get out of the stand. Whatever you do, if you kill a deer, step in the stand." He said, "You're probably gonna hear some wolves. Don't be alarmed. They're not gonna bother you up there."
Would stay up there.
But he didn't
Right
tell
up
me
there.
that the wolves were gonna be less than 50 yards from me, howling. That is the most eerie thing.
Yeah.
If you've never experienced that, and I mean it.
Even the coyote,
Yeah, it's eerie.
yeah,
Yeah,
even a
coyotes
group
about
of
the same.
coyotes that
Yeah.
can get
But
you
a
that
wolf
is even worse.
is. Did you ever see like movies with werewolves and how they howl?
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
grew up in Coriopolis, man. I saw all werewolves.
you seen the real wolves.
yeah. So there was like 3 wolves within 6. I could hear them walking. They were within 60 yards of me. He showed me on the way in. He goes, "This is a wolf track," and that thing. And I have pretty big hands. That thing was every bit as big as my hand around. And I was like, I'm not gonna leave this tree.
So what do you do then? You shoot it.
You wait
how
for
long
the
does
guide.
stay
You
up
wait for your
call?
guide.
Wait for your guy.
And you get dropped off, and you get a pickup time. There's
Got
no
it.
phones. There is no walkie-talkie. There's nothing.
Well, he's probably got a guide gun hanging on
Yeah.
his back, 45-70
Yep,
or
45-70.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
So wait, you shoot this thing, or you shoot it, or you fell it, or whatever they call it. It goes down, and you can't go down and retrieve it. You got to sit there.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
for safety reasons.
I would, after hearing that in the morning, that'll make you stay in your stand. Yeah.
Wolves can't climb.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can only shoot once. If you shot it early, you'd have to sit up there for hours.
Yeah. You're all day. He comes back at dark.
yeah.
And then bear.
You guys are patient, man. I don't know if I have.
So, well, I take it back. No, he came back at noon because I was hunting bear then. So I'd go out. There was a 600-pound bear they wanted me to shoot, and he was coming in. He came in the very first sit we had, and you knew he was coming because there was other bears at the bait. Yeah,
That's big for up there.
yeah, it was huge.
Because PA is known for
it-
big.
There was like 250-pound bears, 300-pound bears at the bait, and then all of a sudden they scattered and start climbing these trees. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then you just see his big black blob coming down, and he was giant. I could have shot him 4 different times at 18 yards, but the camera guy couldn't see him. So I was
Okay.
getting filmed for a TV show, and so he goes, "I can't make it out." I was like, "Well, I got a light of knock. You'll be able to see that damn thing go right through that black blob." He called me off, and that bear didn't come back all week. Saw the bear. I passed on. I never killed a bear, so I should have killed a 300-pounder before I left. But that was the first testament for Thermostel for me.
Thermosol for the mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes, the bugs are so bad up there.
Yeah.
And when you use that Thermostel, we had a video because we were sponsored by them, so we took a video.
Oh, they work, man.
There was a ring around me at 15 feet.
So wait, how do you apply this? Like, how's this work?
The Thermostel just sits on your stand, whatever.
Do you light it?
Yeah, there's a little cartridge that goes
a
in.
gas cartridge.
Gas cartridge, screw it in. No scent, doesn't smell. There's a little wafer to put it in, and it has no scent to it. But there will be no bugs around you within 15 feet.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And
puts
they
up a wall.
they sell them at Walmart. They make now they make lanterns and little centerpieces you put on a table outside your house.
No.
Puts a 20-foot ring around it.
Thermosol.
I heard they make those
Thermosol.
wafers scented too with deer scent. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know
spiced them up. That's what I heard.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I take it with me fishing all the time in
Yeah.
summer. I put it on my kayak, and I never have a bug come around me.
Wow.
Doesn't work for ticks.
Things I learned.
No,
Nothing
it does not.
works.
Ticks are bad. Dude, permethrin works great.
I found
So
one tick on me ever. That was it.
Did you ever you do the clothes, spray the clothes down with
I
permethrin?
don't do that only because it's on your skin.
Well, you know what we
it's
do?
just-
Because
what?
we're cheap bastards. We go to the livestock place and buy the big jug they use for the horses.
Oh dear God!
Well, you kind of, it's the same thing as what you buy
yeah.
pre-mixed. You
Yeah.
mix it to their percentage,
Oh.
and there's no difference. You spray. You don't put it on your skin. You
Yeah.
put it on your clothes.
Yeah, if it
you
says
can watch
do
them
not
die.
put
You can
on
watch
your
them
skin.
walk on your leg and die
Oh,
on your
jeez.
clothes.
Nah,
Yeah.
I surprisingly, I don't
Sounds a
have.
little toxic to me.
Yeah. Now, see, it's a different thing with
Dude,
mosquitoes, but
It
for
says
ticks,
read the directions. Everything be good.
do not put on your skin.
Skin. No, you don't put it on your skin.
But I mean, you're wearing the clothes that has it.
But it's on
it.
the outside.
My point exactly.
You know how many times
but-
I've been bit by
They
ticks?
make a visible
How
thread.
many?
I bet you 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been on doxycycline so many times for tick. You get the big ring and you
Oh,
get
jeez.
it's bad, dude.
Yeah,
Ticks are bad.
I'm thankful I
probably-
haven't gotten that.
I
but-
probably had Lyme disease like 8 times, man. Listen, I'm
Jeez.
telling you.
Wait,
That explains a
never
lot.
Go away.
There it is.
That, but many other things explain a lot.
Ticks just don't say for some unknown reason. I don't know if it's
Well,
something
you're
with my
not-
blood.
you're not going in the
they don't,
woods or something.
Oh, I'm going. I work in the woods.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've only ever found one tick on me.
Yeah,
I
but
got to take you for a walk one
yeah,
day.
but mosquitoes on the other
Oh,
hand,
they're
I will
horrible.
watch them. I will watch a mosquito. We could be in this room right now. They will go over to everybody and look at you and then look at me and land on my nose. It's just they love me.
You're a
for some
mosquito
reason.
magnet.
Yeah, yep.
See, my son's like that. He gets eaten alive. I get bit, but I don't get like that. But
I'm not eating enough.
Did you ever get a
garlic or
run in with
something.
that little white caterpillar? Did you get this time of year? They're white, fuzzy caterpillar. It's a tussock moth caterpillar. They're highly toxic.
Oh, they got the spines on them.
They got the spines on them. I'm in a tree stand one day and I feel something on the back of my neck. They come down on a web, like come down. I felt on my neck. I said, man, a yellow jacker or something. And I'm trying to be quiet. I'm deer hunting. I reach back and I smash it and I just go like this.
Oh, jeez.
Hey,
Oh.
I had a welt
Oh,
that was like this high.
Wow.
My whole neck swelled up all down my chest, down
Damn.
past my stomach. It was bad.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
what's it called again?
It's a tussock moth caterpillar.
Tussock moth.
Yeah.
You'll see them are white and they got like little black head on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't ever touch them.
That's insane.
No intention.
Don't smash them on your neck, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't it true? Like you have like no fear of like reptiles.
Oh, I love
No, I have
any
no fear of reptiles
He
either.
might be
He's
in
an
the
idiot.
same boat.
Well, yeah,
I have no fear of reptiles.
Yeah, the story. I remember vaguely
Have you
some
been rattlesnake?
crazy story
Have
about
you been
just grabbing
rattlesnake hunting
snakes.
yet?
He's
He-
grabbed
yeah.
snakes.
Yeah.
Have you gone
yeah,
rattle?
he sends
rattle
me
hunting?
pictures all the
I
time.
haven't. I want to.
I got buddies that do that, man. I can hook you up with.
So
somebody.
both you guys just grab snakes without thinking about it. Just to,
Yeah. What's
I had
a snake
a
gonna
snake
do,
in my
man?
garage. I was gonna
I
try
got
to
a
find
snake that
him.
lives in my garage right now.
Yeah.
I got a 4-foot rat snake.
you wouldn't get rid of them.
No,
don't
it
know where
keeps.
he
It's mouse season. The mice are going to be headed indoors.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
my first line of defense, brother. I live in the woods.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. There's I caught a couple.
Yeah, you would know.
Yeah, but you don't grab like a rattlesnake, right?
No, I wouldn't do that unless I got
bullshit.
some
I
sort of
know you-
instrument. I would try.
Abby,
Yeah,
tell them the truth.
exactly.
You
Tell them
know.
the truth.
He would try.
I've never
I know
caught a
he would.
venomous snake, but I want to. And like you said, them
Them guys got the tubes. You go
yeah,
with somebody
so-
that knows.
a friend of mine, she's been for the last, 5-6 years up at Tyanessa. She wants me to come up and she wants me to go rattlesnake hunting, and she cooks them up. She eats them. And so we're going to
You're allowed one.
Is
I
it
think
one?
it's
I thought
one.
it was, wow.
It's
Did
one.
it go down?
I think it's one a year. I
Oh,
think.
It's one
Wow.
per person, though.
Yeah, one per person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she
How
wanted
is
me
that
to come up.
enforced? How can they enforce
How
it?
can they enforce anything?
Yeah. Or you could just say, hey, that one just came at me. And
Well, you
I
wouldn't
cut its
believe
head
the
off.
expense
It's
that
fake.
there is on a pipeline when
It's-
you're doing a pipeline. That you have to pay a snake wrangler per day.
Are you?
Yeah, there you go. There's
Are
a
you-
new job for you, man.
Well, yeah.
Are you a pipeliner?
No, but I'm in the oil and gas industry.
Are you?
Yeah. and
Nice.
so I know that there's provisions that we have to,
That's crazy.
that you hire a snake wrangler. They go out ahead of you and they remove all the rattlesnakes.
Is there any truth to just a little sidebar on that oil and gas thing? I've heard that Washington County is the largest producer of natural gas in the United States right now.
Greene County.
Green, is it Green?
Yeah.
I heard it was Washington, and I heard second place is the whole state of Texas.
Yeah, there's enough gas in Pennsylvania to last literally
Between Utica and Marcellus.
Between Utica and Marcellus. But Marcellus alone, we have the biggest Marcellus shell play in the whole world.
Yeah, we've got 4 wells under our club, and we've got the rights on half the property, so it's been pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't do any fundraisers or anything.
No, don't have to do shit anymore, but I don't know how long it's going to last. But it's
no wonder you have 10, 12 pound bass in your...
Yeah, right.
Well, it's been there since 36.
Yeah.
It's the flood control for Weirton, West Virginia.
Oh.
There's a series of dams that come around old strip mines, and
they're strip mines. That's why they're so big.
Well,
that too, yeah.
Well, it's landlocked by our property.
So where we did our native commercial in Ohio, I set us up on some private ground where I had my lease, in their limestone quarry ponds.
Right.
We caught how many fish over 5 pounds that day?
Oh man, it was well over.
It was great
12,
for footage.
13,
Yeah. We'll get 4 or 5 pound bass pretty up my club a lot.
Yeah.
But it's slowed down. It's been slow lately. Guys are just getting crappies and smaller bass.
This is a transition period too.
Is it?
The fall feed's coming on.
Yeah, whenever you get into late summer,
Lakes turning over.
midsummer, you get whenever those lakes turn over. That's basically where the thermocline goes up. Basically,
goes upside down.
Yeah, what happens is
the water flips.
Yeah, and you a good indication is you'll see dead grass coming up, and that dead grass is because the temperature changed on the bottom, and that grass died, and now it's floating to the surface. But anyways, that indicates to the bass that hey, winter's coming, and that bass starts eating up a lot. So yeah, pretty much it's.
I fished clear until late December last year.
Well, guys do good through the ice too. If they do,
you guys aren't ice fishers, right?
No,
the guys at my club do.
They're being cold. Right?
My size, a guy don't need to be on the ice.
You sound like my buddy Charlie. My buddy Charlie's a 300 pounder.
I'm not 300 pounds. I'm 265 pounds. But I don't need to be on ice.
Yeah.
Duck hunting keeps me busy, so I kind of stick to that. But I'm in the same boat. You know,
see, he's been trying to get me out duck hunting. I refuse to do it because I do not need another expensive hunt.
Well, he would like it, and duck hunting is extremely expensive.
Well, I would like the calling.
They buy the stamps and stuff, right?
It's just buying all the
but
if you buy 800 decoys.
Well, yeah, you're talking a couple thousand right there.
That's why I try to get a decoy sponsorship.
Yeah, well,
it's a business.
We had one at one point, and we were sponsored by.
Well, apparently you didn't get enough of them.
But no, like ice fishing. I like ice fishing. It's just I like ice fishing if it's a not so terribly cold out.
So
because ice fishing is only good if you're catching fish. That is it. I mean, at least with kayak fishing, you're out there, you're seeing new things. You got gators underneath your kayak.
That's why you bring whiskey with you.
Well, that's it. That'll keep you warm. But it's just ice fishing is not fun. You're just sitting out there. You got all the wind is just sweeping through the lake.
So why do people do it?
Because they ain't got
something
nothing else to
do. Keep you out of the bars.
Cabin fever. Yeah.
Cabin fever. That's why I have flintlock hunt.
But
I can't wait for snow.
In Minnesota, you can literally rent a shack like as big as this room right here.
Yeah.
And it's got multiple holes all through it.
Yeah.
It's carpeted, beds, full kitchen,
where you can
full
drill
TV,
holes, heated.
You stay out there for a week.
And fish right through the floor.
You fish right through the floor.
The ice is probably 5-6 feet thick.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That to me doesn't seem fun. Because
this is weird.
How about when the ice breaks off and there's trucks and sheds on it and it floats out into the lake? How about them guys got trapped? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That would be me.
Yeah.
I'd wake up and I'd be in the damn water.
Hey, did you hear about them 2 flamingos in Pennsylvania?
Flamingos.
You know that
hurricane?
hurricane? No, it ain't. Listen, that hurricane Vidalia, whatever it was that went into Florida, the hurricane.
Yeah.
Well, it blew flamingos over like 10 states.
Oh, wow.
Well, 2 of them showed up in Franklin County, west of Philly. Well, people seen them out on a pond. It was a pair because they mate for life. One of them was struggling, so they called the game commission. Snapping turtle had it by the leg.
Oh, jeez.
So they wrestled the snapper off the flamingo, and now it's in an animal rehab. And I'm thinking, well, how come the snapper didn't get to eat? Why do they value a flamingo more than a snapping turtle? Who does that math?
I see some big snapping turtles. I see
a
really big
guy.
one at Cross Creek.
Yeah.
Well, you have to get a license to hunt turtle?
No, fishing license. It comes in July 1st. Season starts July 1st. It's on your
So it's
fishing
just the
list.
fishing.
That's
And I've had
something
turtle
I
soup.
covers
It's
all
good.
before.
I make turtle soup. I use
turtle
Emerald
soup's good.
Lagaze's recipe on my
It might
turtle
be
soup.
good, but it's not good cleaning. I don't know if you've
No,
ever
it's
opened
just-
up a snapping turtle.
Yeah. I've caught tons of them.
Yeah.
My biggest is 38 pounds.
Ah, jeez.
Oh, that's a big.
I'll show you a picture before we leave.
A turtle.
Yeah, it looks like I got a dinosaur.
That'll take that snap you off right at the ankle.
Yeah. His
That
head,
big.
his head's that big. His head's that big. It's big.
I mean, these things are dinosaurs.
Yes, I would think. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a,
Was it an alligator snap tater?
It's they're not like the alligators down south. They're PA snapping turtle.
yeah,
They're
normals.
snapping turtle.
Yeah.
Normals. They'll get
American snapping turtle.
They'll get the size of a manhole cover.
That's big.
Yeah, 50 pound,
Yeah.
60 pound.
What do they feed?
They
off
get
of?
100 pound down south.
What do they feed? Just feed off.
Everything,
fish,
anything they can get in their
fish.
mouth, dude.
Yeah.
Listen, anything they can get in their mouth.
Are they fast enough to like bite a fish?
Ducks,
Oh, they're fast.
baby ducks, fish.
So they have
Rats.
they
I've had-
actually
I've
will
had-
s- They'll
yeah.
They'll sit underneath water, and their tongue is actually. It's almost like, have you ever seen an angler fish?
It's like bait.
Yes.
You know, like it's just
Sits there and
it
wiggles.
dangles. It looks like a little worm, and they'll sit there and they'll have their mouth open like this, and that like a little bluegill will come by and be like, oh, that's an easy meal, and obviously they'll take them that way. So it's kind of cool to watch. Between that and alligator snappers
Yeah,
do that.
but how about a flamingo getting blowed all the way up in
that's-
Florida
well-
in the upper
well,
currents?
we were,
and a
uh,
snapping turtle gets his ass.
Well, last-
the
Hey,
snapper's like, what is this?
It was probably the male got caught, and the
Yeah,
female's a bitch now.
Yeah.
You see, this is why we don't come up north.
Yeah. Well, that's so
Probably.
That was on the news today.
we were fishing the Kiski, and they had just caught an alligator out of there, and apparently there's another
There
one there
is.
as well. So
This one's smaller.
we had a little side pod. If you caught the alligator, you put it up on a board to measure it and send it in. Maybe you'd get some money for it or not. I thought that would be kind of cool.
They don't. Alligators really can't survive
No.
up here, right?
No, they
theory.
yeah.
Well, they can during summer, but not during winter.
No.
Yeah, they're gonna just freeze.
Cold blooded, they'll freeze.
reptiles.
So,
So help me understand something. Small. When people say small game, I hunt small game. What is that?
it's like
Rabbits,
rabbits and
Squirrels and birds.
Grouse.
Grouse.
What's the fun of that?
Something to do, Eric.
Yeah, that's
Something to
that's
shoot.
Come on,
honestly,
dude. Look,
yeah, that's it.
everybody got hobbies, dude.
It's just small.
You know,
So
we got to get you some camouflage, brother.
I rabbit hunt, and the reason why anybody would really rabbit hunt is like it would suck to go out there and do what they call like boot and shoot, and well, you do that with pheasants, but even rabbits, some guys will go out there and kick brush around. But the
Yeah.
only reason why you would do that, and it's what I do for duck hunting as well, is you get dogs, and it's more about the dogs. You get beagles rabbit hunting, you get them barking and they're screaming and howling,
Chasing
and
them in
they're,
a circle,
yeah,
and
they
you wait to
track
catch
them.
a rabbit in a
And-
circle.
Yeah, and you wait. And honestly, you don't really need to shoot the rabbit, but if you want to make the beagles happy, you shoot it, and so they know that they did a good job.
Got it.
Of course,
Hass-
obviously, you eat it.
Hassenpfeffer.
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 Yeah, so
You don't take. So hunting dogs do not help you with like bigger game. Like
Yeah,
No, they do.
Well, it
They
depends what state you're in, brother.
yeah. Well, that's
They
that
hunt
too.
deer down south. They hunt bear with dogs.
Yeah, in Texas, I got asked to do a
should see
hog
these
hunt.
dogs.
let's
using-
talk about hog hunt.
Those
my
are
God.
badass dogs.
I
dude.
don't. They use pit
Pit
bulls
bulls.
down there, and it's pretty
brutal.
barbaric, if you ask
They
me. As
use
far as
pit
dogs,
bulls.
they have a Kevlar vest on for the tusk on the hogs. So we work with a contractor, and one of the contractors operators, he actually goes down every year, like maybe 5 or 6 times a year down to Texas and does hog hunting. But he hog hunts with dogs, and he doesn't use a gun. He uses a knife. He hog hunts with a knife. And so what happens? He has these dogs. They go down. They wrestle this thing. They tire out the.
Here's your sign.
Yeah, they tire him out, and then he has this. I don't know what you want to call it, a flusher or clincher, or I don't know what you call this type of dog, but it's a big, generally a pit bull because they have a real strong jaw, and he'll go up and grab the hog on its nose and hold that hog down, and then while you got that hog sitting there, you just
You
run
stab
up and
the
you
shit out of
stab
it.
it. And he's telling me this, and he's like a really nice guy. And he's like, yeah, we just go down there, and we got all these dogs, and it's really fun. You know, you get to hold it, and you go up there and you stab it. Like, you can't be nice and say, yeah, you're gonna go up and stab it, and think that, you know, I'm not gonna think differently of you. So like, yeah,
that's a little weird.
Well, I told him, I was like, look, I'll get.
They are just pigs.
Yeah,
they're invasive.
They're invasive. They're killing off the crops, fine,
crops.
but still, like, damn,
People
man.
do it from helicopters, don't
Well,
they?
I'll do
with
that.
ARs.
I'll do that. Put me up there with an AR. I have no problem doing that. We'll help the farmers' crops, all that stuff. But I am not going to get up and close with a knife.
Did you ever see the guys that jump out with the spears?
Oh yeah,
They jump out. They wait till the game gets underneath them. They either jump or they throw.
Or they. I watched the one guy. What's the main guy?
Tim.
Who's it?
Tim.
Yeah. Okay. You know, he'll sit there and wait for the hog to go down and just drop, and that thing just drops right on their spine. You know, it's just like.
Yeah, I seen that guy jump on an elk, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
jeez. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, no, it's not for me.
That's a natural progression from longbow, but I didn't want to take.
That's one thing I did.
That's why I went to.
That's one thing I did see in Saskatchewan driving in. We saw moose.
Nice.
And
that
thing is
Scary.
They're giant. I mean, at the shoulder, they're 6.5 feet tall.
They're
taller
more,
than me.
They're more dangerous than grizzlies. That's
that's
what people say.
They charge trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one. I was camping in Maine when I was a kid. My father took me. We were on the river, not river, but it was like a very big stream, canoeing. Come around this bend, man. It's just standing in the middle of freaking.
Oh, that's
terrifying. Cool looking, but it's just absolutely positively terrifying.
Yeah. They're bigger than it's like a Belgium horse.
Yeah.
I mean, these things are giant.
They're huge.
That's on my bucket list to hunt one with a bow.
You better have a guide and horses.
Oh,
yeah. You imagine packing that out, bro.
Yeah. Would you? So, if you've got something that big,
you quarter
you
got
it
to cut it up in parts there,
pack
right?
it out.
Yeah, and usually you're on a boat floating down a river. You know, you spot them, and then you go spot and stock. But they'll charge you. They're mean.
Oh yeah.
Is there any kind of sport to combine? Don't laugh. It's like 'cause I'm a novice. This stuff.
Never laugh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got a lifetime of proof if that's not the case. Like they should find a way to incorporate fishing and hunting together. Like, could you get it? Could you?
Oh, that's like
if you see
cast and blast.
If you see like fish in the water and clear, can you use something to shoot them out? I mean,
you got bow fishing.
You can bow fish.
Like,
it's already thought of.
We used to throw dynamite in a creek and see how many fish because it would go up.
We used to throw that matey stunted. Yeah.
No, you got to use quarter stick of dynamite. You'll catch some fish, brother.
Bow fishing is huge. So one of the spots we went to, Kentucky Lake, they had the invasive
Asian carp.
Yeah, the Asian carp, big-headed carp, silver carp. And they're everywhere. You put the live scope down, and it's like, oh man, that's a giant bass, and all of a sudden you see about 17 more right with it, and you're like, crap, that's just giant carp.
They're dead everywhere.
Yeah,
it smells like a big fish pit.
Yeah, and the reason
they're like this big and like that wide. They're just giant.
But
they have teeth.
No,
they're
the
like
ones
bottom feeders.
the ones that were like the teeth fish they were trying to say.
Oh, that's snakehead.
Snakehead.
That's another one that they do bow fishing with.
Okay.
But every time we got to a ramp down in Kentucky Lake, there was always this guy who had like a 17-foot flat bottom boat and filled to the top with like giant carp, and they'll go out there. They'll either snag them. It's a combination of conservation. I don't know if they get paid per pound for as many carp as that they bring in. I know that they take guides out there where they have lights set up, and they'll go and you'll have 2 or 3 guys sitting at the front of the boat, and they're shooting these carp as they troll on by, and then you can literally reel them in and stuff like that.
They do that on Ohio.
They do that on Ohio. Ohio, you got catfish, you got grass carp, you got bowfin. So you could do that there. I'm from Maryland as well, and so that was where the whole snakehead boom came from. And I got a buddy down there who actually guides on the Potomac, and they go out, and he has this huge boat. It's beautiful, like completely decked out in marine mats, and he's got lights everywhere. As soon as you go out at night, he turns on the lights, and it's just, you can see for 30, 40 feet out in the water all around you. So it's a really cool opportunity. If you're into archery and it's like you're kind of, chomping at the bit to get out there and start, hunting. Obviously you only have 3 or 4 months to do that out of the year. So you go bow fishing, and bow fishing is really cool because, again, like you were talking, it's a combination between fishing and hunting. But about this time of the year too, we're going to be on a Susquehanna here in 2 or 3 weeks.
Season, isn't it?
It's all week. It always comes in. Duck season always comes in.
Think about this every time we do this.
It's miserable.
So you're fishing.
Yeah. So here we are, and now, granted, I'm a huge duck hunter. I always want to go out there the first day, but it's always seems like the first day is on a big tournament on the Susquehanna. And if you know anything about valleys, you have it's called radiation fog. You have the fog that sits real low, and so what happens on the Susquehanna, you're in this valley, you've got first day of duck where you've got, hundreds of duck hunters on this river.
You're all pumped up to go out and fish, but you're also all pumped up with adrenaline that you might get shot that day.
Yeah, and you can't
occupational hazard.
You can't see 10 feet in front of you. So you're just totally using graphs. You're making sure you got your maps up so you know where you're going. You're going in and around these islands and things like that. But all of a sudden you'll just be, floating down. Look. Well, I've had that happen, but you'll just roll right up into a bunch of decoys. And then you'll hear a little quack, quack from the guy over. He's like, what are you doing to my decoys? I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't see anything out here. But there's been times where I would be just kind of just floating down. I think it was about 3 years ago, and I'm not kidding you, about 40 yards away from ducks coming in. Luckily, they came in on the other side, and Did
you get rained on, babies?
I've had that happen a couple times.
I've had that happen.
Squirrel hunting. These wouldn't have rained on me. They would have just
blew you up.
Yeah, they would have, sunk me. But so you have that. That is sort of a cast and blast. That's not voluntarily, but you're just in the mix. But a cast and blast is something I've always wanted to do. I love fishing the Allegheny River, and about that time of the year, it really turns on. And so there's been times that I've wanted to take my shotgun out, just have it there and just fish for smallmouth. And then all of a sudden you see ducks starting to fly over, you pull it up and shoot. A couple of my buddies have done that. It's fun, but so I don't know.
Cast and blast.
Come on, man.
Cast and blast, man.
We can set up a new tournament for, bass fishing. Cast and blast. You got to, on top of your limit, you got to have at least one duck, So.
Or human. One human or one duck.
One human or one duck.
Yeah. And where do you buy
a duck, but I got a duck
human tags for the
That's
season.
That's a different tournament there.
Yeah, right?
So, I think last time you guys were on, you were not here.
No.
Oh, wait.
It was me, him, and Dave.
Yeah. Did we talk a little bit about the animals that you can find in other countries that you would like to eventually hunt that are not available here?
I've been invited to hunt Africa twice, and I turned it down both times. And thank God I did, because the first day they were there, they had an 11-foot cobra that came right up to the edge of where the vehicle was. And this guy gets out and starts filming it, and this thing rears up, and I'm like, idiots. That just proved me idiots. I'm not going to hunt with idiots that do shit like that. Now, I hunted in Luis Obispo in California.
Okay.
And the hill country in California. You wouldn't even believe it's California. But they have cougars out there. So you'll hear cougars, meowing wherever they do, growling. But the second time I went out there to hunt blacktail, it was tarantula mating season.
Okay. Of course it was.
Yeah. You got no luck.
So I'm sitting on the ground, and here comes 4 tarantulas from every which way. I'm like, what the hell's going on right now? I mean, these things, and I don't like spiders.
That's horrifying. That's horrifying.
These things are big as my hand,
That's horrifying.
you know? And they're fighting.
He won't care.
They're fighting, like, out in front
He
of me.
won't care, right?
So we go. So I was with Pat and Nicole from whatever their TV show's called, but we go in the room that night, and their room was right beside mine. And I said, "Hey, Pat, come here." I said, "Are you afraid of spiders?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't like spiders." There was a tarantula that big around on my right where my door is. Like, it's like a barn door, like the bottom opens and the top opens. And I was like, who left my goddamn door open? So I tore my room apart. You think I was getting, I didn't sleep a goddamn wink that night. You know?
No, thank you.
I looked under my bed. I looked under all my sheets. I looked at and they told, don't leave your stuff on the ground. I said, oh, because they can't just climb up the wall and get in it.
They probably have scorpions out there too, huh?
Well, there's no scorpions out there, but I did have a scorpion run in Arizona when we were in the band in the bathtub at a hotel.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
A
It's
big
like-
one? How big are they?
They're not that big.
The small ones are the
Yeah.
ones you got to worry about.
Yeah. But we found a scorpion in Russell did in Tennessee last year.
Yeah.
A scorpion in Tennessee.
Yeah.
That.
They're non-poisonous, but they're sure as hell a scorpion.
It might have been a vinegaroon, man.
Yeah.
What?
A vinegaroon. It's like a scorpion.
Yeah.
A
well,
vinegaroon?
Look it up. Look it up.
I don't even
You think
know
I
that
can make
one.
that shit up?
So he goes
That's
to
a little
go.
weird to make
He goes
up.
to get us to come back in. He takes a picture and he goes to get us to come back. Hey, there's a scorpion in the bathtub. We go back in. There's no scorpion.
Well, there was one here.
Great.
So it showed up again, and he couldn't kill it. He couldn't get to it in time to kill it. And so that thing was living among us the whole trip down there. Yeah,
That's funny.
it's really not.
They climb in shoes, don't they? That's a big thing.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't want to put your
Y'all-
foot in
they
it.
That's
always
why I wear
shake out your
flip-flops.
boots. Yep. Shake out your boots every
Flip-flops.
single time.
Hey, did what did you say prior that you saw? Was it mountain goats? Was there a mountain goat season?
Yeah.
Was
It's a
that from
hard
the last
tag.
one that we were on?
I saw a mountain goat. I saw a wild goat coming from Withville, Virginia.
Okay.
Up over the mountain, like Bluefield.
People hunt those?
I don't know if you're allowed to hunt them there, but I don't.
I know it's an expensive tag out west
Yeah.
for mountain
Mon-
goat
Montana.
or
Yeah.
ram.
Yeah.
That's like
Ram.
$25,000 tag.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
If you want a ram, it's $25,000.
It's
I think it's
for that
cheaper to
tag.
shoot an African lion.
It doesn't just shoot it. Yeah.
Just ask Donald Trump Jr.
Why is it so? So why is it so
My
expensive?
hero.
Why is a ram so expensive?
They're protected.
Protected.
Yeah.
And they only issue so many tags. It's a covenant tag, kind of like a PA elk tag, the governor's tag. I think
It's a animal of the rich.
yeah, the governor's tag in PA this year sold for like $180,000.
What does that mean?
He gets a tag, and he can come shoot a bull elk in Pennsylvania.
Which is like a trophy
He
elk.
bought it.
So what if you can't find
He
one?
shot like a 425 or something.
So you're not guaranteed to get one. If you can't find one, you
It's
get
a
a guide.
99.9% success rate with a guide.
And you can pretty much walk up and tap it on the shoulder.
And they call it the governor's tag.
Yeah, that's one tag that they auction off. Everybody else goes into they draw your names.
Yep.
My name was in like 23 times this year, and I still haven't been drawn.
Holy
Would you
crap.
pay it?
No, I don't have to pay it. I can shoot it with my license. This is the tag that they auction off to raise
So the-
money.
Oh,
What
I
is
see
it,
what
like
you're saying.
17 bucks?
Yeah, so
Okay.
rich guys buy it.
Okay. I get it. I get it. So you, by luck of the draw, you might get
Well, I'm
it.
going to tell you something. I'd have shot one that was bigger than 425.
It's big.
That is big, but there's bigger ones that
I
live
think
in
it
PA.
was like 4.25. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
giants.
I know there's close to 500s up there.
Yeah, there is. There
So
is.
if I'm paying 180,000,
Yeah.
I'm holding out.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. He didn't shoot a 500. I know that.
Yeah.
It was over 400 though.
That one guy killed the record though.
Yeah.
It was what, 5 something?
Yeah, it was giant.
Yeah.
It was giant. They got giants up there.
Elk steak's tasty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got elk in my freezer right now.
Yeah, elk
If I
steak.
draw a tag, I'm gonna go up to my brother-in-law's camp. I ain't been up there in a while. I'm gonna have my coffee and we'll go on the porch. As soon as he comes out of the yard, I'm gonna blast him. Because of the giants.
I don't even have to drag it, son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, I won't. He's laying there dead in the yard.
Actually, no,
Then I'll finish
you-
my coffee.
Actually, you'll hit it and it'll go 3 miles down the road.
Oh.
No golly.
No, I'll plow it. It ain't going.
All right. So what are the more exotic animals in continental USA besides the ram and the cougar? You said, right?
Yeah,
you're allowed to hunt those out there. You have to have a permit for them. But
Okay.
they did kill one when we were out there.
Like what about antelopes?
Yeah, antelopes you can hunt. They're fast as hell. They can see really good.
I saw those when I was out there hunting.
They hunt water holes for them.
Like do we have
They'll set up on a water hole and
do we have impalas in the continental US?
no
Well, they do on
ranches
exotic
in
farms.
Texas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which
But
I don't hunt that kind of stuff.
No, that's all high fence shit.
That's
I don't
all
do
pen
that either.
stuff.
Wait,
Anything
what?
in a pen isn't
You're
hunting.
saying so if you have a farm, you could bring in exotic animals and then pay people to hunt them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's legal.
yeah. If you got the 10,000, 20,000 acre ranch down in Texas, and fenced
So that's
in.
like similar to having like a basically it's like having a stocked
game preserve.
trout lake.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty
right.
much. Yeah.
I mean, you still got to find them, but
Yeah.
you know where they're coming.
Yeah.
They're not naturally occurring.
No.
Well, you're naturally hunting them, but I mean, 20,000 acres is a lot.
Yeah.
But you still, your odds are you're going to find them eventually.
Yeah.
What are they? What other animals are rare hunting animals in this country?
Grizzly.
Grizzly. Yeah.
Wolf.
Grizzly. They're all protected. All the protected animals. Only certain states let you do it.
What on the bird front? Like, do we shoot owls? Do we shoot?
No, you ain't allowed.
Yeah.
I know guys that do. I know guys that own chickens, man. Anything comes over, is good,
Yeah.
dude. They don't care. Oh, yeah. A guy got 30, 40 chickens running around the yard free range.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They don't play it.
Yep. Between owls,
there's
raccoons.
a lot of eagles moving in.
Yeah, there is.
So-
There's a bunch of bald eagles around.
So what's going on with that? Because I came across the Sweetly
making a
Bridge and there was
comeback,
one
man.
sitting right on a post, and it's just a majestic looking animal.
Yeah.
It's just sitting.
Because they got rid of the lead shot.
I've seen one. I saw one in Wisconsin at a tournament about a month ago. That was every bit. His wingspan was every bit of this table.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's just so big, and he
You
flew
can see
right.
them soaring, right? They don't.
There's
The
two
wings,
big
their wings
ones
don't
that
move.
live-
They just go.
There's two
Oh, yeah.
that live behind Bundy's. You ever see the two behind Bundy's?
That's probably where that one was from.
Yeah, right down the bottom of Hilder's too.
I mean,
they're
they're majestic, but they're also a nuisance now.
Yeah.
Like, if we're duck hunting and all of a sudden we see an eagle up there, we stop. We just go home
What's the
because
difference between the eagle and a bald eagle?
well,
One got hair and one thought. It's easy.
Oh God, it was a
See why
dad
he's
joke.
here?
Yeah, jeez. No, it's a. Well, you have different types of eagles. You got like
Philadelphia Eagles.
yeah, right.
They suck.
Golden eagles. I don't think we
Golden
have.
eagles.
I think we got.
We got Goldens.
Do we have golden?
Yep.
That's out in
We
probably
got-
California.
No,
or
we've
something.
got Golden Eagles here in PA. My buddies get them on trail cam, yeah. They dump carcasses and put trail cams on. They get Goldens, bald eagles, vultures. Yeah, we got golden eagles.
Vultures?
Yeah, we got vultures.
Turkey buzzards.
Turkey buzzards.
turkey buzzards.
It's a vulture.
Can you hunt?
Turkey
Can you hunt those?
No, they're actually protected, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
yeah, they're
Are they?
nature's waste.
You see them
removal.
flying around down by the Swickley Bridge.
Yeah.
They're the ones with the split
Well, also,
wingtips. They
they're
got the split wingtips.
They're really hard to kill too.
Actually, they're not. My buddy shot one with a 223, man. It dropped.
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, but generally, you see a bird,
You probably don't want to put that in the podcast.
Yeah, right. Oh God.
FYI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
What's his name?
Can't prove nothing. Can't prove nothing.
Can't prove nothing.
my one buddy apparently he shot at one thinking it was a actual turkey. It was during turkey season.
Don't
I
even
think
look-
actually fall.
They don't even look similar.
Yeah, yeah, they do kind of.
Hey.
If they're sitting if they're sitting on the ground,
Okay.
they look like a turkey. And so he shot it. He got pissed off and flew over him, and it didn't hit him, but he puked. Like
Yeah.
they puke in order is like a defense mechanism.
mechanism.
And he like puked on him. And
Stench.
apparently, so I think was it Animal Planet had the most. Was it smelly animals in the world? And
Vultures.
they said the vultures was either number 1 or number 2 of the stinkiest freaking things out there, and it has nothing to do with them.
They
It's
eat
just
dead.
them puking up what they.
The thing that was already dead and stinking.
Yeah.
Foxes stink when you cut them open. I was always told. Is that true?
What, fox?
When you cut them open, they smell.
Anything stinks when you hit their
Depends.
stomach.
Yeah, there's glands and everything got an odor.
So wait. So
Ball in her hair, it doesn't matter.
Jeez. Cougar.
For sure.
God, I miss the 70s.
Yeah. Don't we all, pal?
That's
So a turkey is a bird, but it can't fly. Is that right?
Yeah, it
No,
can
it can
fly.
Or they just fly short little leaps.
they're
They're
like
They're not emus or ostriches.
Yeah,
they're turkeys.
they're like little velociraptors.
Every
basically.
bird in the state can fly.
When you say, well, how qualify fly to me?
Up in the air. Up in the air. Go like this.
They soar a lot, so
Yeah.
they'll take off, and then they like to cruise.
Catch a current.
Yeah, they soar into their hillside.
They are heavy, like, and you're not going to see them like
They'll catch the
fly, like
It's all about the thermals.
migrating. You know, yeah.
Are there are there any birds in the continental U.S. that do not fly? Like what's that? Not alpaca, right?
Alpaca's not a bird.
Flying
It's like
camels,
a fancy goat.
llamas.
You got emus.
It's like a fancy goat, dude.
Is it really?
No, it's alpaca's like a llama. Like
It's like a llama.
Yeah.
Spitting llama.
If I get the property next to my house, I'm going to raise alpacas. I'm trying to get that acre.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, I was confusing alpaca with an ostrich.
No,
You're
dude.
thinking. I think you're thinking of
Emu.
Emu.
Dude,
Yeah.
you need to go to the zoo.
We'll take you on a guided tour.
That's why I'm.
See these things right here. This is what Bill's friend shot. And you know how to shoot.
Oh my god. So reptiles. If you shoot a reptile, do you need a tag for that?
Alligators?
They shoot iguanas down in
Yeah.
Florida.
Iguanas, you get paid if you shoot. Supposedly, it's a lot like coyotes up here. They're a nuisance down there, and they have people who go out and literally hunt them. Like they'll go out on the water.
How is an iguana a nuisance? I don't understand that.
They're so slow.
Because you know what it's
No,
doing?
the iguanas
It's-
are fast.
It's eating the bird
I'm not
egg,
thinking
native
of them.
bird eggs. They're
Well, I think it's.
they're wiping out native stuff and plants.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I did see in Florida last year. For the first time, a guy
Yeah,
told
they
me
are
about a
herbivores,
canal.
I think.
I was down by Fort Myers,
Okay.
and I was going. I went and bought a rod and reel and was fishing in the canals, and I saw one of those lizards, those big
Monitor.
monitor.
Is it a monitor or lizards?
Yeah, they're
down
like
in Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah, wild like the
it was
pythons.
crazy.
Well, is it because people release
Let 'em
them?
loose.
Oh,
Same
okay.
way the pythons got
Yeah,
there.
that makes sense.
and I'm like,
What was it like?
is
Five?
that?
Was
Did
it
they
like
attack
5
you?
foot?
yeah, it was
4
big. It was
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
And,
Oh, it
and
would
I
bite
seen
you.
the slide. So this old guy told me about it. He goes, "Hey, just what's going up there? There's those
big lizards.
Those big lizards." I was like, "Well, how big?"
Big lizards.
big.
You don't hear that. United
Then,
States.
then he showed me the slides going down into the
Was it
side
like
of the
it was
bank.
like Jurassic Park? Yeah. You were like the dude on the hillside
Yeah.
to think about
Yeah.
it like this.
This thing, I see it. I'm walking towards it. I'm like, what the hell is that? And this thing is watching these birds. And I stopped and I tried to take pictures of it. I mean, it was probably as long as this table.
Yeah, they're
with the
big.
tail. I mean, the body on it was like this big around.
Like a Komodo dragon.
That's what they are.
dragon.
Komodos. That's what they
Komodo
are.
dragon.
They got Komodos.
No way they got Komodo
They got
dragons.
monitors. Monitors are
Monitors.
giant. Monitors
Okay.
are
Monitors are
big.
big.
Okay.
but
Komodos
are-
eat cows and shit, dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
well,
suck.
that's what it was, a monitor.
They,
Yeah.
they don't move fast though, right?
Yeah.
No, they-
yeah,
Oh,
they can. A burst.
35 miles per hour.
Yeah. They catch you.
Yeah, and a Komodo dragon, it's their saliva is
They kill
full
you.
of
Poisonous.
bacteria.
They bite you and wait for you to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
There's been people who've been eaten by Komodo dragons.
are there little ones people keep
Yeah.
as pets? Like in a like
I would imagine
a
so.
terrarium. or whatever it's
Monitors.
called.
People
Yeah,
had monitors
like the
as
monitor
pets.
ones. Yeah.
Wait, they don't roam the house and shit, right?
Some people are wacky, man. Think about it.
Yeah.
You know, they got pigs running around their house, rabbits, skunks.
I have seen like some kind of lizard like that, but I've seen it on a
See, I
leash
got
and
ducks.
shit. People
Do
keep
you
that.
remember the lady that posted pictures of her laying beside her boa constrictor? It was like 9 foot long or something like that, and says, "Oh, he loves to cuddle."
Yeah, yeah.
And it was sizing her up.
Yeah.
It's what they do. They size their prey up.
Before they
And
make. Can I swallow this?
It strangled her.
Yeah.
It
Constricted
it,
on
stra-
her.
it,
Killed
stra-
her.
it constricted her when she was sleeping.
Oh.
Idiot. Hashtag idiot.
I've got no pets in the house. I got a flock of 11 ducks that have roam the yard every night.
Dogs are fine.
I got ducks.
As long as you
Only
have
got
10 of them.
ducks.
Yeah, I
12.
like dogs.
Ducks, not dogs. I got ducks.
I had ducks and I got eaten by a hawk, and I'll never have a duck again.
Well,
kill
I've
hawks?
only lost 2.
Is there hawk season?
Hawk
No.
season are protected.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you got chickens,
Chicken hawk.
they're all over the place.
I know.
Yeah, I had a duck, and that thing was like a dog to me.
Really?
It followed me around everywhere.
Wow.
See, mine don't. Mine are
Oh
free
yeah,
or-
but
no.
we
I
only
gotta
had
put
one.
eggs. Yeah,
We only had one.
I got a whole flock.
His name was Pico. That thing followed me. He was a sensation on the internet. I'd post him all the time on the band stuff.
Oh,
Was
right
it a
on.
white? Was it a white one?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Pekins. Yeah. I
He'd
got
come-
2
he'd-
males.
he'd come
2
in.
Pekin males.
He'd come in the house, and we'd feed it in the house. The girls put diapers on him.
Nice.
Yeah,
He
they make
made
duck
him
tape.
famous.
They make duck tapers.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you can domesticate a duck.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Well, you
he'd
know
sit
that-
there. He'd sit there and watch TV with you. Just sit there and. Just
Well,
pet him.
they make duct tape out of the house. That's where they get duct tape. Ducks. You didn't know that, Eric?
Come on, man. I'm not that pathetic.
Oh,
Well,
I was
gorilla-
testing-
You're gonna make a great old guy. You know that.
Gorilla tape. have
Well,
you-
I'm a grandfather.
Yeah,
Listen,
he
I'm a
already is an
granddad.
old guy.
I got 2. I'm gonna have 2 grandchildren.
He already is an
I
old
got-
guy.
Yeah, I got grandkids.
Tell
man.
him
I ain't
bullshit
old.
lies.
He says it with a straight face, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the scary part with
Testing
you.
you.
Gorilla tape.
Yeah, from girls.
Yeah.
So
They make it from gorilla
so,
shit.
so all right. So check this out. So if y'all seen that show, I'm assuming you've all seen that show, Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Never. I
So
never do that.
explain something to me. So they set these people out there, and like anything goes, right? They can just. I mean, you can eat
gotta
dirt,
survive, yeah.
kill whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're not going to die.
Well, no, they won't let them die. I don't think. But how come they never shoot the fucking monkeys? They never shoot them fucking monkeys and eat
They're
them.
probably
Monkeys.
protected.
Yeah. It
They
might
can't
be.
do it on
But
TV.
you're out, but you're like out. You know, the idea is you're in a place where nothing should be protected if you're trying to survive. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's true.
I've seen them shoot stuff out there. They've
But I don't
seen
think
guys.
I don't
hunting.
think they could put it on TV. Maybe monkey meat's not good.
I don't know. I'm
That's
asking the
true,
question.
yeah.
It's monkey. I mean, do people eat monkeys?
I don't know.
If I was hungry, I'd eat
I
one.
imagine so. Yeah.
Right.
Monkey,
It's all-
you've never had
It's
monkey
all
brain?
relative.
I mean,
man.
I've
It's
never-
all relative, dude.
I've
what
never heard
you got to
anybody eat
eat.
monkey meat. Hey, I got some exotic monkey meat. You need to try this shit.
I remember her.
Somebody said. I mean, I remember years ago said that people that were like the brains are poisonous or something. Like the brains are like a
In what? In
hallucinogenic
a,
or
in a
something.
mug?
Oh, really?
It's like a delicacy in India.
Well, they it is
Yeah, they eat
definitely
monkey
a delicacy,
brains.
Yeah.
Don't you watch Indiana
Yeah.
Jones, man?
It's like what was that Ray Liotta in the movie where they pick his head up and he takes a spoon and takes a scoop.
Oh, that was
He
that
goes,
was
"Dessert."
That's how
That was,
Chewed monkey
that was,
brain.
Wait, what was that?
and then
fava beans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs.
Hannibal.
Yeah. Hannibal,
Lecter,
which is
Hannibal
Silence of
Lecter.
the Lambs 2, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
okay.
that movie.
Monkey brains.
Monkey brains.
dessert. Chewed monkey brains.
The enforcement thing is always puzzling to me. It's like, I'm on the river. Just say I could walk down the river and cast a line out, and I don't have a tag.
And a
Right.
guy, and if he shows up and you get checked, you're going to get a fine.
Yeah.
Well, how often are they showing up?
That's
Pretty often.
Well, you'll see him.
Really?
It
We,
depends
we
on
got
where you're
stopped.
at.
We got stopped out
It depends where you're at.
on the Fox River in Wisconsin, and I mean we were in the middle of nowhere.
Remote.
And here comes a freaking guy, 2 guys on a boat,
Oh, green pants.
My buddy
And
got
I'm like-
checked a couple weeks ago on the river, catfishing.
and I'm
He
like,
did it- come in
he
and
goes,
did a
"Do you
check.
guys have your tags?" It's like, "Yeah, they're on my phone." Well, come on over here. You got
Wow.
you got to show them. You got to show them everything.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, we did like a 15-mile. We had our motor, so we did like 12 or 15 miles that day. And I mean, we were in the woods. Like,
Yeah.
And the river, what they call river, is probably a double wide of this room.
Okay.
And
You were fishing or hunting?
no, we were fishing. We were pre-fishing for a tournament.
And
It was me, John Klein, and Dylan Lowry.
He's the same.
Yeah.
So is it the same thing for hunting too? Like they'll come and check your hunting tag?
Yeah, I've met him. Yeah.
I've never had them, like, they don't come.
Well, it depends
while
where
you're
you
hunting.
hunt. Yeah, they do. If you hunt around here,
Oh, really?
we'd shoot up these valleys behind these housing plans up here in Moon Township. Oh, yeah, the man's coming, man.
Jeez.
We'd go in- when we were
in
younger?
your tree
You have a
stand?
Karen that
No,
called.
no,
Yeah,
we're doing
well, that's what
we're
I'm
doing deer drives, dude.
Oh, well,
Listen,
that's another thing.
There's guys
Like, but
eating.
if you're
There's
in
guys eating breakfast and like 12 shotguns go off.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
like, but if you're-
his legs
yeah.
are up in the air, he's on his deck.
Yeah. Then you got a Karen calling in.
Oh, that's
dude,
it. Yeah.
Listen, they used to chase us around all the time back when we were cowboys.
I heard they're out in the wild.
What, Karen's?
So, but if tomorrow you saw like 4 deer walking through your backyard, you just can't arbitrarily blow them away,
No, that's poaching.
even though it's on your property.
They're out of season.
What if they're on your
It
property?
doesn't matter. That's property of the state.
You could get a
The deer.
Okay.
what is it called? You can get a red tag, right?
You get a red tag if you're a farmer if you've got agricultural damage. And they'll give you so many tags based on your acreage. You could shoot them year
How
round.
much? Okay, so
Yeah.
would you estimate how much fraud actually happens during the year? Fraud meaning like people that are
Do illegal
Poaching.
stuff?
Poaching.
or taking more than what you've paid to
God.
pay.
A ton.
That's
Ton.
every hunt.
A ton.
Really?
A ton.
There's some
no, but there's a ton.
there's some people who live off of it.
There are some people who live off it. I know people that shoot 3, 4, or 5 a year. They never bought a license in their life.
Is the fine hefty if you get caught?
Yeah, you got to pay restitution, especially if it's a big buck.
Like when you say restitution,
I think a buck's like $2,500 or something on top
An
of
inch.
the fine.
That's
It might be, I don't know what it is.
$1,000 an inch or
Probably
$100 an inch or something like
It's
that.
upper.
wait, what?
Yeah, you got to pay restitution
Restitution?
to the state. When you stole something off the state, they
That's how
assign a value
That's how they
to it.
view it.
Yeah.
But that's like the Amish. The Amish have no law. They come in and slaughter them up north.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean they have no law?
Their laws don't pertain to us.
Yeah, but
But they still can get- they still
can
can-
get fined. The game commission depends where they're
I
at.
thought they were allowed to take more than.
No.
They have an exemption.
They all have licenses. I've seen them down Washington County. Guy drops them off and they push a game lands. There's like a dozen of them, and they
Yeah.
spread out and they push a game lands, and they all got licenses and got their orange on, and
yeah.
yeah, all Amish guys.
So they're capitulating to society.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit about Amish that people don't, They pay
That's
taxes.
misconceptions. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions.
Yeah.
Do they pay taxes?
Yeah,
Really?
I didn't think they had to
they pay income taxes.
Well,
like
why would
everybody
they
else.
get an exception?
because the old
'Cause it's based on a
ordinance.
church.
Yeah,
Wow.
So churches don't have to pay taxes, and so as long as you stay within your church's
Yeah.
whatever
I
it is.
heard they did pay taxes to some degree.
Well, I'd imagine it's probably for businesses. For,
Yeah, well, a lot of them are big business.
Yeah.
And listen, they're not using. They're using power tools, brother.
Yeah.
This Gen Z
Yeah,
Amish. This Gen Z
Yeah.
Amish is a different breed, man.
That guy showing up with a drill going like this.
Yeah, right.
they don't got gerbils down in the basement running on the wheel.
Gerbils.
Yeah, y'all just still didn't answer the question though. What animal have you not hunted that you want to?
I'm pretty good.
Moose,
Yeah.
I'm
moose with
content.
my bow.
Elk would be good for
Oh,
me.
yeah, I'd want an elk.
You know,
I apply for it.
Have you ever seen an elk?
Yeah.
In the wild?
Yeah, they smell like freaking cattle. I was grouse hunting up in the mountains and come across a herd, and you could just smell them, man. It
No shit.
stunk. Yeah, they stink like son of a bitch. They like to wallow too. They get
They get in the mud.
yeah, they piss down their legs and they're dirty.
I think it's not necessarily the animal that I want to hunt, but it's where I want to hunt. You
Okay.
know? Like, of course, you got like Alaska. I would love to go up there.
Right.
You know, go up to Saskatchewan.
Right.
But Tyler is actually going there this year, and
Nice.
obviously, again, I got twins, so I'm not gonna go up there right now. But
Shoot them up, man.
so I just found out apparently, and this would be amazing because this would be a nice kind of like mixture for my wife and our family, but also for me to hunt. Is Jamaica has a population of white-tailed deer. And
Jamaica?
Nice.
Jamaica.
Jamaica,
And so
man.
supposedly they have now
there's advantages of going to Jamaica.
well, I'm just saying, like,
Those
you
are
know,
the-
yeah, right.
Hook
so-
up.
Yeah, but your aim would be all fucked up.
yeah,
Hey man,
Hey, man.
where's the cross? Where's the
You got
crosshairs?
Hook up with the Rasta.
Or else it could help you out your aim if you might calm
maybe.
you down. You know
well,
what I
it
mean?
probably
Calm you
does. Like,
down,
yeah, I don't know if
steady
you know,
your shot.
You got a buck coming in, your anxiety is just like going nuts.
So I
But
never
yeah.
heard they had deer down there. That's pretty wild.
Yeah,
I didn't have a good experience in Jamaica being off the grid.
You didn't like it?
Well, there's no snake.
I got in a
snakes
little
there.
predicament down there.
When? How long ago?
The band did a cruise. We had like 400 fans
do
with us.
tell.
We get off on the boat and you go.
The hecklers probably. Or
Yeah,
you
well,
got
the
that.
guy says, "Hey, we'll take you on a tour." So, $50. You know, I wanted to tour around the town and everything, and go around. And the tour's ending, and he goes, "Oh, we'll go up here." And what he does, he takes you all his friends' shops. They want you to buy stuff.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So then we cut up. He goes, "We'll go shortcut back to the boat, like to where he goes up his alley." And then he has another friend up there waiting. And he goes, "Okay, you pay me now." I was like, "Okay." I think I gave him $70. I gave him $20 tip.
Okay.
So there's 70. No, $100.
Oh, they was rolling your ass.
I said, "No, I'm giving you 70. I'm giving you a $20 tip, American dollars. This is what you're getting." So I had the girl was dating. I said, "Just get behind it now." Now she's starting to cry. So $100, and he goes, and the guy comes walking out. Now these guys are like 5'8".
Yeah.
You know,
They have machetes.
I don't.
They all
I
walk
didn't. I didn't
machetes
know.
down there
I
in
didn't.
Jamaica.
I didn't. They probably had knives or something. But I said, "Hey, look." I said, "I'm giving you $70." End of story. I said, 2 things are going to happen here. Either we're going to walk,
We're gonna fight.
or we're going to fight. Take a pick. I said, I'm prepared to do both.
Called his bluff.
Yeah.
I did call his bluff, but it was a long bluff. It was a long bluff. In my mind, I'm thinking, which one do I need to hit first?
Oh yeah, you're running through
Yeah.
your head with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what they say. Jamaica is the Philadelphia of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay on the resort.
Yeah. They tell you down there.
Don't go up in the mile.
Same with
Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, anywhere down there, man.
Bahamas.
well, I love Playa del Carmen. I'll tell you why. It's a gated community. It's a huge community. You can walk through there and nobody heckles you, nobody
Yeah.
bothers you. You can walk freely through there and never get bothered. But you leave outside that resort, you better know where you're going.
Oh yeah.
You know, like on a guided trip, whatever, or you know.
That's the story with Jamaica in general. I was always told if you
Yeah.
go to an all inclusive, go to a resort, and then just kind of like camp
Stay.
out there.
Yep.
Yeah, stay there.
Yeah, heathenism's the one you want to go.
They still have those.
That's an adult.
No,
that's
it's
an adult.
heathenisms. Yeah, see? Clothing's optional.
Oh, jeez. And it's always the older guys.
Yeah.
They're just,
Yeah.
Dude,
they're
listen,
really
I'm
60,
a-
70.
Hey, for
Dude,
once, I'm
I've
the old
seen
guy
it.
here.
Dude, I've seen it all, dude. I'm immune to it now. It all looks good.
So out of high school, Mikey Bell and I were going to go.
Oh,
on this
Mikey,
cruise.
he's a great guy, dude.
We're going to. He goes, "Hey, I got this deal. My parents gave me this amount of money, and so is a travel agent. This is '83. Let's go on this. Let's go on this cruise, or maybe we could, we'll go on this cruise for a couple of days, and we'll stop. I don't know a cruise. I mean, I'm from Coriopolis, so okay, whatever. Well, he didn't tell me that it was like a swingers cruise.
Oh, geez.
You know what I mean,
gosh.
like it was.
Everybody had
two
pineapple tattoos.
Two guys going together were not like it was a couples kind
Yeah.
of thing. You know what I mean? So that was a long 5
Well, he
days.
could have been a unicorn.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So was you and Mikey as a
weren't.
couple or the
Yeah,
swingers
well,
crew?
they thought we were, but I pretty much did a lot of drinking
Yeah.
and a lot of boredom.
Staring off into space.
Yeah, staring off into space.
Back-
I could
Look at me.
have
Back
killed,
to the wall.
Could have killed
Lambert
me, yeah.
Lambert booked. So usually I book the Airbnbs for our stays, and there's a guy from Georgia and a guy from Tennessee and a guy from Texas that stays with us. So they're staying with us at this next tournament in October. But so Ryan from Tennessee, he's 37. He booked the first tournament of the year. He goes, "Hey, I already got a house." He said, "Just so all right." I said, "Where's that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's about half an hour from the lake, so it's in a gated community. It's on a golf course." I said, "All right, cool." So we get down there and looking at all these golf carts around. Everybody's got loofahs right on their golf carts. I'm like, why the hell's everybody bath loofahs on there? And they're never the same color. So they're all different colors. Like, and some people would have 2 loofahs, different colors, than 3 or 1. So finally, it was like the third day, and we're practice, and this lady pulls up, and we're rearranging trailers in the driveway, and I said, "Hey,"
What's up?
I said, "What's up with the loofahs on the golf?" She starts giggling, and it's an old community, okay? So all these people are like 65 and older.
Oh, God.
And she goes, "Oh, you're visiting, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, we're here for a tournament." And she's like, oh, okay. Oh, you're in a swingers community, honey. I was like, oh, yeah? I said, well,
Great.
I said, inquiring minds want to know, what are the loofahs? Oh, well, that's full swing. That's soft. That's the different
it's
colors
code.
tell you, what
Signaling.
what everybody is into. So I was like, you got a lot of loofahs on you. So he starts laughing. She goes, yeah, I like it all, honey.
Jeez.
Oh,
She goes, how long are you guys here for? I said, we're leaving. We're leaving tomorrow.
Apparently, the elderly like to get their freak on too. I
hell
guess. I
yeah,
don't know.
man. Them STDs run rampant down in Florida. I heard at some of them community homes.
Wait.
I'm telling you, senior citizens get their freak on, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm sure.
Christ, I'm too tired for this shit. I'm done with it.
Back to that semi-annual erection thing. again.
Exactly. No, it ain't the erection, dude. Make pills for that. Just lazy.
All right, before we wrap this up, so what's on your agenda now? What's the schedule look like for you guys?
So we have
do you fish until like the winter? Or when does it stop?
so I'm in that tournament of the champions again.
When is that? It?
That's in November
Okay.
in Tennessee.
Okay.
Lake Chickamauga. And that's
They
a
were
3-day
televised?
tournament.
They were televised there?
So the the Bassmaster one they're televising next year
Are they?
in March. So that's the one we're fishing in October 7th and 8th or something like that. That's at the Susquehanna. But the top, I think it's the top 15% of the field get to go to the Classic, which is the Bassmaster Classic, which is world renowned on the boat side. But now they have it for the kayak side.
Right on.
And it's a big to do. You know, you're fishing for 35, 40 grand. So that's what I'm trying to qualify for going into
Right.
March. That's in March. And then the other one I already qualified for through Kentucky is the Tournament of Champions. So it's so weird because I'm sitting in 21st again with points.
Wow.
As I was last year. That's probably going to change next week. Or no, that's this weekend.
What is?
Or no. I'm sorry. It's next weekend. The Hobie Sam Rayburn.
Oh yeah.
There's one more tournament, which I already qualify, so I don't need to go. But someone will probably bump me in points for Angler of the Year.
Okay.
So, which I'm not worried about. As long as I'm tournament of champions, I'd rather win 35 grand.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah. 39 grand. The hell
Oh,
with
shit.
the hell with the plaque.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it is about that trophy.
It is about the trophy. Man.
It is about that coveted trophy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's the goal.
Yep.
You?
Pretty much the same thing. Same tournaments that he's doing as I'm doing too. I didn't make it to the tournament champions. You got to travel a little bit more if you want to give yourself a better chance. And
You got
that's tough
those
for me.
those things.
Yeah,
those kid things.
Yeah.
It's
Kids.
ridiculous, but yeah. So they, but yeah, it's
Mary,
pretty
I'm
much that,
sorry,
man.
Mary. I'm sorry. But thank you for letting him come over here tonight.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's tonight's bath night. So you had to do it all by herself.
There
But
we go.
yes, no, it'll be those 3 tournaments, and then just getting into duck hunting, deer hunting, and then
The
working on the
hunting
house,
season's
yeah.
coming, right?
Oh, yes,
yeah,
it
but, yeah,
is.
it's,
And that's
technically
I'm
it's already
guessing.
here if you hunt dove or
That's
goose.
why I'm going to miss all these tournaments. I'm tied up. Archery hunting. And I refuse to get in a kayak.
I said the same thing
Yeah.
until he.
They actually are pretty
he had
sharp. I've been looking at them.
He had to talk you into it, huh?
Yeah.
He did.
Initially.
Yeah.
Until I went down and got in his kayak.
Yeah.
No, I actually went out and
you
bought one.
just went out. This
Yeah,
guy
that's
just,
a more Abby thing to
yeah,
do.
it's just literally dive head first.
I
in.
sent him a picture. I would load it in the back of my truck and say, "Hey, I got one today."
He
like,
gets
"What?"
like the best
He
one.
called me.
He did you.
Yeah.
He did you a
course.
favor.
Yeah.
Because you sounds like you're doing good at it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to, but I mean, he knows me. I don't give up. Like that's I don't know if it's a bad
you're
trait.
pretty
or-
relentless.
No,
Yeah.
it's a good trait.
It is,
how
but
you-
it's not. Sometimes it
Well,
eats me.
yeah.
But one thing I started
You're
doing this
focused.
year,
You're
I
focused.
really started doing this year was listening to my gut.
Yeah.
Like if I know I should be doing something,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't care what I did in practice, and that
Yeah.
happened on the first day of Florida. it got cold. There was a cold front to come in. It got real windy. And I was like, man, this feels like a chatterbait day. Like back home, I'm like, I feel like I'd be throwing a chatterbait. I didn't put it down for 2 days.
Right.
I
doing the math, though. You do the math every time you know.
Yeah, and every time I listen to my gut, I did the same thing in Kentucky.
Right.
Everybody's saying, don't go after those smallmouth. Remember back at the house, Ryan's like, don't. I'm telling you, those are like ghosts. Don't chase those smallmouth.
Yeah.
I went back and I chased them and I caught them.
Always follow my gut, man.
Yeah.
Always follow your gut.
And I know I know what my strong suit is. I know what I don't need to be doing because he catches stuff on a wake bait. I can't catch a goddamn thing on a wake bait.
It's all technique and location.
No, I don't know what it is.
Your mouth right.
Yeah.
You don't do what to the mouth, right?
You don't hold your mouth right.
Oh.
Never heard that?
No.
Well, a few times you have.
No one ever told me that.
Yeah.
Christ.
But I started listening to my gut. And that was one of the biggest things I started doing this year, that I took that pressure off myself of trying to win. You know, and eventually it's going to come.
Change mindset.
Yeah,
You know,
it'll come.
And eventually it's going to, I will say this kayak tournament fishing is definitely the hardest thing I've done of every sport I've done, because it's not just a physical, it is a mental. It will wear you out in a minute. Like,
why is it different? Why is it?
Because it can literally, and he knows this, it can literally change in 15 minutes.
Got it.
Down
So
to
it
the
can
last
be
minute.
very frustrating.
Yeah. Down to the last. That's why you have to keep going and keep
highs
going.
and lows, a lot of highs and
Yeah.
lows.
It's the second hardest sport I've done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, getting hit in the head.
We're getting pummeled.
Thank God I've never had like a torn ACL kayak fishing, but I do have like a kink in my elbow. That was from casting too much, but that's about it.
Did you ever hook yourself?
Oh,
Sure.
Watch
Right
this
here,
guy
pal.
hook himself.
Did you run it through and cut the bar?
He was on the phone with me, actually.
I was sort of puking a little bit just listening to him. Like, you just got to tuck real hard, and then all of a sudden I just hear a bunch of screaming. I was like, oh God, he did.
Oh, you just pulled it on?
Well,
That's the worst thing to do.
no. There's a
you
trick
can
to
do
it.
Yeah.
And I did it. I did it on the second
Did you
one
do it with a string and
with a piece of braid.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
forgot to tie the knot. And it slipped up the barb when I when I pulled. They heard me a mile up the river.
you have to get those stitches?
No, but I did pull some flesh out.
Minor flesh wound.
But the second time, so the trick is, so I caught this giant smallmouth. It was 20-inch smallmouth on a topwater.
Yeah.
Netted it. I'm getting out of net, and it flops, and it puts the hook right in the top of my thing. And before I could even move, it flopped the other way, and it just drove the hook right in my top of my foot.
Oh.
So now I couldn't anchor down because I was in too deep of water. So now I'm floating backwards on the river, and I'm swearing to the smallmouth, like, you motherfucker, you move, I will throw you on a bank to die. Because I couldn't do anything.
Right.
Like I could not do anything.
Right.
So I finally get to a spot where I could anchor down. I anchor down, and I hurry up and cut the line. So, and I reach down and I got the pliers and I get the hook out of its mouth, but the lure's still hanging off my foot. Hurry up and get a nice selfie. You can see the pain in my eyes. And then I proceed to do this trick. So I've seen it done. You know, you have to press on, you have to push it in like you're pushing in on the barb. So it pushes it down. So, because remember, it's got a barb.
It's got an
so
opening you made already.
Right. It's got an opening. It's made already.
Right.
So you got to push it down so it comes back at the same opening.
You got to put it in reverse.
So I pushed down. When I pulled it up on an angle, and the braid slid up around the shaft of the hook.
Now
and did not come out. And I screamed bloody Jesus. And I know they heard me a mile up the river. And then I'm like breathing.
All right, second.
He's on the phone. He's trying not to laugh.
I was laughing, but at the same time, I wanted to puke.
You were feeling it.
Thankfully, that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
to me.
So then
I've had a little hook in me.
Then I said, "Oh my God, I forgot to tie the knot around the shank of the hook." So then I tied the braid, got it wrapped around my hand again, pressed down, closed my eyes, and I just went like they come right out.
It's always
You
better.
did you go? You had to
well,
Yeah. but there was blood gushing everywhere.
But
It's always better when you have another person because the other
Yeah.
person will do it and he'll do all right on 3, 1, 2, and then pull it out. And, you know, it just happens. But
I got it done in my finger too. I caught one in one of my finger, and my buddy Tom did it.
I cut a Rapala out of somebody's forearm once with a fillet knife.
Wow.
He pulled up on. I said, "Get it as taut as you can get it." This was down the river. He pulled it up real tight, and the skin was coming up. It was a big Rapala, dude. It was a big treble hook. And I took that fillet knife. I said, "This is just gonna be a little cut." I just gave it a little slice, and it popped right out. He had to go get 6 stitches.
6 stitches is not a little cut.
He's gonna give a little cut.
Just a little cut.
You know who it was? Gary Mazzetti.
Oh,
Remember
God.
Mazzetti's?
Yeah.
Yep. I saved him.
I don't know if you saved him.
I did emergency surgery on a riverbank.
It cost them some money at the hospital.
Yeah, I saved him.
The doctor was probably
I was only
like,
a
why didn't
teen-
you just
I
leave
was-
the hook in?
I was a teenager. He said, "Get this out of my arm." I got it out of his arm.
All you had to really do is cut the other side of the hook.
But I was a kid
Right
and I
back
had
in.
a knife. Quickest way out.
He filleted him.
I drove a size 5/0 worm hook into my nephew's mouth.
Damn.
Oh, God.
I took my son and my 2 nephews down to Florida on a guided bass fishing trip, and I was throwing a fluke up along the side of we were in a cattail alleyway about wide as the room here, and it was I said, "Hey, don't stand behind me. I'm throwing sidearm up along the boat here, and I don't want you behind me." So I pushed him over there, and the guy goes, "Hey, you want to do what your uncle's doing?" He goes, "Yeah, I want to learn how to do it." He goes, "All right, stand over here and I'll show you." And he pushed him back behind me. And I didn't know he was behind me. And I went, then I went, I go to throw it again. And
He's like, uh-oh.
it just drove at 5/0.
That's horrible.
Wide gap
I
hook.
just hear the scream.
No, he had 1 tear. That was it.
My buddy hooked
Yes.
a guy's wiener dog the same way. We were fishing. Listen, he went to cast a Rapala. He come back. The wiener dog went for the Rapala. He hooked the wiener dog. The wiener dog took off with his line running, hooked in his mouth. And he opened the bell and he's yelling it was the caretaker's dog out my club. He's yelling, "You better get your dog before I set the hook. I'm running out of line." So he run the dog out there. He had to get it out of the dog. But it's the funniest thing I ever seen in my life.
Well, I'd be half tempted to just flip that bail and just
That's what he
start
said.
fighting.
That's what he said. He said, "You better get the dog. I'm going to set the hook here. I'm running out of line."
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how good of a wiener dog would fight on a run.
I don't know,
That'd be
but
good.
Yeah.
I had to take my nephew to the hospital.
Oh,
Couldn't
yeah.
get out.
Oh,
That's
golly.
That was right here.
How old was he?
Probably 11,
Oh,
12.
okay. At least he wasn't a little guy.
Yeah.
Wasn't traumatic.
But when they brought you're sitting on the bed and the doctor brings in a black bag and on the side it says fish tools.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's a
I
pro.
started laughing. He goes, "It's not funny." I was like, "That's pretty funny."
Fish tools.
I got pictures of it. But him sitting with a 5/0 heavy duty wide gap in his
Dear
man.
Lord, not even you don't even use light wire.
Yeah.
That's what a jerk.
I've had a Joe fly in the forearm, but other than that, no major hooks.
I watched my dad.
They hurt.
My dad. We used to surf fish, and we use these. They call them bottom rigs or bunker rigs, and they have two hooks and a big 4-ounce sinker at the bottom, and you rig up each hook with bait and stuff. And so I was out there. We were fishing. We were having a nice time out on the beach, and he rears back and he could cast. I mean, I've never seen somebody cast so far. You always use real light line. But anyways, he goes back and he has this huge surf rod, and this thing is it'll probably touch that back wall. And he goes and he does this, and he just bad luck on this kid's part. This little 4-year-old came out of nowhere and hooked him right there, right through. I mean, I've never heard a bloody scream like that ever. I mean, and I don't know. I can't. Part of me thinks that he tried to jerk again at one point, just whatever. But it was just bloody murder, blood everywhere, all over this kid, and he just went over eventually and just he bent the bar down and put it out. It was all the way through, but he missed his eye by that much.
He got lucky.
Yeah,
He got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, them hooks are no joke.
So I do have one story in regards to a fishing line that you will find funny. I found it funny. We have a mutual friend, unfortunately, he passed, Mike Bell. And
Yes.
Mike had a tennis ball in his garage that he took a fishing line and, put it through there because it was the gauge. When you're pulling in, the tennis ball would hang, and then when he
So he
saw
wouldn't
it.
hit the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, I guess when he put the hook in there, he just hooked it. I guess there was a barb, that was exposed. Oh. This tennis ball has been there forever. So I'm going down to watch Monday Night Football. I'm on my way down. He's like, hey, he goes, you have to take me to the hospital. I'm like, when you get here, I'm like, what happened to you? He goes, I'll explain when you get here. Well,
Was the tennis ball stuck to his face?
so he was doing something in the garage, and he would put his head down like this to reach for something, and the barb or whatever got stuck in his cheek.
Oh.
And so he went to pull it, and he made it worse. I mean, just dug in there. So we could take him over swiftly. And
Was the tennis ball still attached? Yeah, nice. He had to cut the string.
So they literally take him into the emergency room there to work on him, and they're parading like these first year, medical staff and giving examples. People are laughing at him, and shit. He was never more humiliated in his life.
That's funny.
But I mean, his whole side of it. You can imagine this rusty thing's probably been hanging there for a
10 years.
decade.
Oh, jeez.
They gave him tetanus shots, and his little face swelled up. But this fucking tennis ball was hanging on the side of his face for hours, man.
What did happen in a hook?
Yeah, but
I don't know why he
used a big, or maybe the prior owner of the house did. It was a big hook. There was a barb that was exposed on the other side.
a big turtle hook.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I mean,
shark hook.
It was like.
It's like his cat wasn't sitting
And
there playing with it.
when
all of a sudden-
I'm sitting there, and every doctor that comes and goes, and they're all ready to bust out laughing. Like, Mr. Bell, we're sorry, it isn't that we find it funny. It's just a very unusual thing. And you see these nurses are going by, they're peeking.
Got to see the guy on a tennis ball.
I thought it was
head.
hysterical. He didn't think it was that funny. I thought it was absolutely hysterical. But yeah, not one of the better moments.
That's hilarious.
As long as it didn't happen to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Guys, I appreciate this. We'll do this again.
It was fun.
Hey,
Thanks for the
do
invite.
this. I would do this again for
Nice.
sure. Next time, make sure you bring your beer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
don't
I mean, you want a real thing, you should come out and just watch us try to replace a starter on the
Yeah,
truck.
well, just
Yeah, you can do the interview while he's laying. Them nice
freaking
white
new
shoes.
shoes.
Well, I mean, it is unedited and all that, but I don't go for gratuitous, vulgarity and all that. I anticipate some of that shortly with you guys.
Yeah.
In about another 20 minutes or so. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And Mary, thank you for letting him grace us this evening. We
you go.
appreciate that. Good luck to you both.
Yeah, thank
For
you.
I'll
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thanks,
I'll
buddy.
see
You'll
Yeah.
see me whenever you need to see me, bro.
That's-
I'm always available.
Don't fall in any trees. Phil.
Unscripted.
All right, friends. Until next time, we're
All
out.
right, man. Bye.
Hey.
Salute.
Oh, that was fun.